Let's roll. The Twisted Tuesday has begun. The pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between, along for the ride from Costa Rica to California, from Montreal to Minnesota. The late night anger management class has begun. Let's rage. Donnie Rightside will step up and in this evening in about 30 minutes time. I figured it'd give us some time to break down the late night games. There's not a lot of them, but there's a few. There's games starting right now. I'm on the Portland Trailblazers on the money line. I parlayed it with the Toronto Raptors money line. It's a good thing that I did take the money line on the Raptors. It was a monster line, but, you know, I figured the Raptors were going to win, and I think the Portland Trailblazers are going to win. We're all about building that account up right now. We've got an opinion on the UNLV game, this UNLV game going off the board momentarily. Right off the top here, let's get into this. You got Oral Roberts and the UNLV Running Rebels. UNLV, go fight, win. Rebels have lost two straight games. Rebels have lost two straight games. So I think they're going to be in a bad mood this evening against Oral Roberts. The game just went off. It was at 10 o'clock. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? We've got Eastern Kentucky and the Oregon State Beavers. That game's still on the board right now. And we do have St. John's and Grand Canyon. And finally, we get an opportunity to bet on the Lopes. Lopes haven't played in many line games this year. In fact, none. I think there might have been a line for one, but the books I'm betting at, for the most part, I haven't seen Grand Canyon on the board. They're playing this at the Talking Stick. Fuck, there's some stupid-ass fucking names of arenas nowadays, man. Society just sucks. Like, let's just be real. It just gets worse, man. Like, everything gets fucking worse, all right? Everything. Everything's just worse. I feel like Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino. Get the fuck off my lawn. If I had a lawn, that's what I'd be saying. Talking Stick Arena, fuck. Like, really? The fuck is a talking stick? I don't even know. I'm going to plead ignorance on this. What the fuck is a talking stick? I guess, it's a company, Talking Stick. What the fuck is a talking stick? I know a selfie stick. Was it Selfie Stick Arena? What is a fucking talking stick? What is that business? There must be something. There must be a company, Talking Stick, if it's the name of the fucking arena. Talking Stick. What the fuck does that mean? I never heard of this product before. Let's see. Talking Stick. Oh, that's a resort. In Scottsdale, Arizona. Talking Stick Resort and Casino. Oh, it's a native deal. All right, so now it makes sense. See, I thought it was some stupid fucking selfie sort of, I don't know, Verizon fucking talk stick, fucking Millennium cocksucker fucking arena. I can accept this. Chief Talking Stick. All right. What up, Chief? The Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Reservation. Blackjack Pit Boss, Sheriff Joe Arpaio. Let me Sheriff Joe Arpaio, fuck. You start bitching too much at the table. All right, you're under arrest. Next thing you know, man, you're picking up garbage on the side of the road in Arizona, fucking in a pink jumpsuit. You know Sheriff Joe Arpaio, he's a fucking fuckstick. He's not a talking stick. He's Chief Fuckstick. You have like Talking Stick Arena, and then you have Fuckstick Sheriff. So Fuckstick Sheriff Joe. I've never liked Sheriff Joe, all right? So you can't make this shit up, fuck. So I lived in Las Vegas, and I'm sitting in the back of a taxi, okay? And I'm on Paradise Boulevard. And I'm going to the airport. And in the taxi, I don't know, man. The taxi driver starts talking politics and shit with me, all right? And for some reason, Sheriff Joe comes up. So I say to the taxi driver, I'm like, man, I fucking hate Sheriff Joe Arpaio. And I said, man, if I could punch that guy in the face, I fucking would. I'm like, he's a fucking cocksucker. So I'm going off about Sheriff Joe Arpaio. And there's all this traffic and shit like this around. And there's like, you know, there's like fucking SUVs with tinted windows everywhere. So I say to the taxi driver, I'm like, what the fuck's going on, man? And he goes, fucking Barack Obama. Like, the taxi driver hated everyone. He's like, fucking Barack he's at the airport. He goes, I don't know, Barack's got something going. And, you know, he goes, it's a big deal. He goes, there's a lot of fucking security around. All right. So it's just my chance. And I don't know what it is. I must be on their list because I actually saw Air Force One once. There was like a time, like 3 consecutive flights in a row, I was fucking trailing Air Force One. And it actually crossed my mind. I'm like, man, I must be on their fucking list. Like, you know, Las Vegas, Barack is fucking speaking at the airport. No, yeah, Morency's on a flight there at the same time. Barack's in Minneapolis. Yeah, I'm in Minneapolis. I started to think, I was like, fuck, they're going to start thinking I'm fucking trailing this guy or something. Fuck. Yeah, I saw Air Force One when I was at the airport in Minneapolis. Fuck. It's very underwhelming. I gotta be honest. It just looks like a fucking plane, man. You know, it's not like some special or whatever. There was actually 2 of them, fuck. And we didn't know which one was real. No shit. There was 2 of them. You could see them, right? You could see them like right out the window. Everyone was taking pictures and shit. And they're like, yeah, one's a decoy and one's the real one. Fuck. So I'm in the taxi talking about Sheriff Joe Arpaio and shit. We pull up at a fucking red light. And I see this fucking car, this SUV, and it has Arizona plates on it. And lo and fucking behold, as I'm talking about Sheriff Joe Arpaio fucking pulls up right next to us, fuck, on a red light. What are the fucking odds? What are the fucking odds? like we're face to face. Like we're at a red light. He's in an SUV. And he's with that fuckstick deputy guy that looks like Elvis, fuck, his buddy. So they look over, and me and the taxi driver are just giving him the evil eye, all right? Both me and the taxi driver, like, just sneering at him, fuck. He looks over at us, kind of gives us a sneer back. We're fucking sneering at him. And I say, I'm like, can you fucking believe that? And I say to the time, like, what are the fucking odds, fuck? He's like, man, I don't know, man. He's like, that's crazy, man. The Hispanic guy, he's like, you talk about Arpaio, and he shows up at the red light. I'm like, yeah, man. Listen, I think I'm going to shut up now, fuck. Fucking. There's my Sheriff Joe Arpaio story. Chief Fuckstick. Chief Fuckstick. Yeah, rain or shine one. You believe that, Big Reg? The game didn't go over the number. The game didn't go over the number. All right, we'll ask you guys for some thumbs up here. Off the top, support the program, support SBR by giving a thumbs up and by subscribing to this YouTube channel. As these shows don't pay for themselves, people. All SBR is asking is for thumbs up and for subscriptions and for you to bet through their sports books over at sportsbookreview.com. Now, me personally, I'm not a big thumbs up guy, but they have asked us to make sure that we promote the thumbs up and the subscriptions and following on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Instagram.com/sportsbookreview, Facebook.com/sportsbookreview, Snapchat, and Google Plus. And Google Plus. So, yeah, you believe that motherfucking shit last night? It was a great call by me on the rain or shine when they were down, and I said take them to come back. We grabbed the over 190. The in-game total hit as high as 208.5. I could have cashed out, and I didn't because I was 50 cents short, and it stayed under. The Filipino League is as whacked as the president of the Philippines, fuck. Joe Duarte. That guy's a fucking nut job. So yeah, it's a little frustrating right now. Not a ton of late night action going on this week. It's exam time in the college world. Like these kids fucking take them anyways, but you know, it's exam time. So we do have this St. John's game coming up. We gave Nevada. We gave Nevada any over on the TV show today, and fucking Nevada were up all night. So they're in overtime. They're down by 5 right now. The game's gone over the number. It's about to. With 2 minutes left in overtime, they need 1 point. So that game's going to go over the number. We gave you Villanova and Gonzaga over 149. That motherfucker sailed, baby. Sailed over the number. We gave you Syracuse -6 and over 129. Syracuse is winning by 15. Fuck, it's 30-15 right now. UConn only have 15 points with 6 minutes left in the first. It's going to be a hard time to get to the total if UConn don't score at all, but we are on Syracuse. And then tonight we got St. John's and Grand Canyon. So make no mistake about it. This is a big game. This is a big game for the Lopes. You know, Grand Canyon, whenever they get an opportunity to get on the map and make a name for themselves, they have to take advantage of it. Not a lot of teams want to play Grand Canyon University. You know, especially there. Now, this isn't a home game. We're not playing. It's not on the campus. It's where the Phoenix Suns play. It's a tournament. One of these tournament deals. Who else is there? Arizona and who the hell is Arizona playing right now? Arizona's going to win this little mini tournament. But it'd be good for Grand Canyon to get to the final and play Arizona in this thing. Who the hell did Arizona play? Oh, Texas A&M. It's 40-37. I think there's only 4 teams here. Texas A&M, Arizona, St. John's, and Grand Canyon. So listen, St. John's are off to a nice start so far this year. St. John's off to a nice start this year. The Johnnies, I don't even know what they're called. What are they called now? Are they the Red? The Red Storm. That's it. They used to be the Redmen, but that's deep. I don't understand how like the Redskins is not racist, but the Red Men are. The Redmen. I don't know. Redskin sounds worse to me than Redmen. The St. John's Redmen. That's what they were when I was a kid. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. I think they changed their fucking name. It's like McGill University in Montreal. They're the Redmen, and they're still called the Redmen, but they're not. It's like Redmen means some sort of fucking fraternity, or I don't know what it means. It's not like a native thing. Remember I opened up the show by stating everything sucks? The Red Storm. That's the shittiest fucking name. The Red Storm. Ooh, you can't call it the Washington Wizards, the Bullets. Better be the Washington Wizards. Yeah. People have not gotten shot in Washington since you changed the name, fuck. The fact that the team was the Washington fucking Bullets, that's why people shoot each other in Washington. I don't know. Yeah, you know, the fucking team in Australia is called the Brisbane Bullets. I don't, you know, they don't seem to have a fucking problem with it. I tweeted out a picture earlier today of Adam West, Batman. He's surrounded by like fucking 50 playmates and shit. And it's some like fucking, you know, Miss Batman pageant or something. And I'm like, you couldn't even get away with that now. They'd be like, what? Why are we having a, like, imagine going to the studio like Batman movie and say, listen, you know, we want to take Christian Bale and we're going to have like fucking 75 hot fucking Victoria's Secret models on a stage with him. And we're going to have a Miss Batman competition. The studio would look at you and say, that's the most sexist, stupid fucking idea we've ever heard in our lives. You're fired. I think it's a great idea. I tell them that's the problem with you fucksticks. Chief fuckstick. So yeah, the Red Storm. Red Storm are 7-1 on the season. Man, they haven't played anybody, fuck. Sacred Heart. Who's Sacred Heart? I think Sacred Heart's a metal band. St. John's are 7-1 on the season, 3-3 against the spread, 2-4 as far as totals, two overs, 4 unders. The Johnnies are scored 76.6 points per game. They're giving up 62.4. They're 0-3 against the spread on the road. They're 2-1 straight up, 0-3 against the spread on the road. They're scoring 70 points and giving up 70 on the road. Meanwhile, Grand Canyon are 5-1. Scored 72.2 points per game, 0 line games. They're giving up 58 points per game. Now, St. John's are relatively deep. They got a bunch of kids that are scoring in double digits. Meanwhile, the Lopes have 3 players in double digits, led by guard Joshua Braun, 15.5 points per game. They're coming off a bad performance, Grand Canyon. They didn't play well against Riverside. You know, they weren't hitting their threes. Grand Canyon liked to heave the threes, and the shots weren't falling for them. But I'm going to cut them a little slack on that because I think, you know, they still won the game by 12 on the, you know, they still won the game by 12. It was 68-56. Now, their one loss, they lost to the San Diego Toreros. I'm not overly impressed with that. You know, from Grand Canyon's perspective, I don't like that loss, but I think Grand Canyon has been looking forward to this tournament. You know, it's on TV. You know, Grand Canyon don't get on TV a lot. It's a big deal for them. So I think they were sort of looking ahead to this. But the key to St. John's is their best players not playing. I swear to God, St. John's basketball are so fucking irrelevant. Punch in St. John's into the fuck into Google here. Man, I got St. John's Ambulance. I got St. John's Hospital. I got St. John's University News. Like, you know, you punch in St. John's basketball, there's like a story from 2 weeks ago. It's like nobody has done any work on the internet on St. John's. Seriously, I punch in St. John's, I'm getting St. John's fucking basketball in Newfoundland and shit. I just want to get this kid's name right here. Yeah, Marcus Lovett. Marcus Lovett's not playing. I believe it was Marcus Lovett. Yeah, that's the kid. Yeah, I believe. Hey, what up, Corrente? Yeah, Felipe Lopez. I was just telling people about Felipe Lopez today. Cam Stewart asked me on the radio. He said, because I told him our boy Mike Cardano went to St. John's. So, and we wish Cardano the best. He's going under surgery tomorrow. Yeah, we're like, who's a famous basketball player from St. John's? And we said, well, it was obviously Chris Mullen and Mark Jackson. And he's like, yeah, but who else? I'm like, I said, nobody else. I was trying. Ron Artest. Fuck, that's it. Ron Artest. Ron Artest went to fucking St. John's. And I brought up Felipe Lopez. I brought up Felipe Lopez. And nobody, not a lot of people remember Felipe Lopez, but he was actually on the cover of Time magazine. He was on the cover. He was on the cover of Time magazine as the next Michael Jordan. Obviously, that didn't work out too well. No. Felipe Lopez did make it to the NBA, though. He wasn't a complete bust, you know. In life, he's not a bust, you know what I mean? The kid fucking went to college. He played in the NBA. It's not his fault that you put him on the cover of Time magazine as a 16-year-old. He was from the Bronx. 16-year-old kid from the Bronx. He was on the cover of Time. They're like the next Michael Jordan. He was that good, like in high school and shit. Oh, is Mo Harkless the guy? Yeah. Mo Harkless went to St. John's. Good call, Grinch. Grinch is actually in Arizona. So, yes. So, Marcus Lovett didn't travel with the team. He didn't travel with the team. So that's 15. That's 15 points a game. I thought that, you know, he was their leading scorer. But no, he's not their leading scorer. Well, let's see. Who has St. John's played this year? You're 7-1. You know, you played Sacred fucking Heart. I think that's the name of a DO record. You played Sacred Heart. You beat them. You beat Central Florida. You lost to Missouri. You beat Oregon State. You beat Nebraska. You played a tougher schedule. Definitely a tougher schedule than Grand Canyon had played. I'll give you that. But let's go with the over. Let's go Grand Canyon and the over. Except I don't see an over at Bookmaker right now. I thought there was a 148 out there or something. All right, we got a puncher's chance for the total in this Syracuse game. We'll give you a halftime line. Syracuse and UConn. We're on. See, all you guys ask me, what am I on? What am I on? You know, and you action. Watch my fucking plays of the day, guys. You know, I gave fucking 10 picks today. So, you know, and then you got the 2 games at nighttime. What are you on? What are you on? We lost with the Montreal Canadiens and the St. Louis Blues under 5.5, but we won with the Devils. And if you tune in to Red Heat and Rage Radio today, man, we said take the fucking Devils. Big underdogs. Fuck. Big underdogs at Columbus. Columbus had no business being big favorites. Oh, so here it is. It's 144. There's a total, 144. Yeah, let's go over the number here. Let's take Grand Canyon plus the 5.5 at over 144. I'm not sure this is Grand Canyon's best team. They seem to be a little better last year. One thing with Grand Canyon is they're not hitting their threes this year. They're taking their threes, but they're just not falling. You know, St. John's are going to be the more physical team. We lose a little bit of advantage, the fact that it's not on campus, that we're playing in the Phoenix Suns arena. But with that being stated, there's no way in hell we're betting against our Lopes. I've got a Lopes t-shirt in one of these fucking bags somewhere here. I got to fish out. Pepperdine's rolling Riverside right now. They're up by 10. Syracuse and UConn. All right, UConn starting to put some points up on the board over the Jimmy V Classic. Don't give up. Never give up. I watched the speech last night after the show here last night. It's tough to watch that. Donnie Rightside will join us in a couple of minutes here. We'll talk some NFL football. We'll get a second half number on this on the UConn game. 37-24 right now for Syracuse. I like Syracuse in this game. I laid the 6.5, whatever it was. 6.5, I think. I think I got it at 6, actually. Normally, I don't like laying points. I'm generally more of an underdog better in this college stuff, but UConn just aren't that good. Let's be real. And, Syracuse still run that zone. And, if you can't hit a three-point shot, you're going to have a problem against Syracuse. If you can hit a 3, the zone doesn't mean shit. Right? You just shoot 3s over the zone, and it's not a problem. But the thing is, UConn don't shoot the ball well. They only hit 30% of the three-point shots. Anytime Syracuse are playing, if you really just want to simplify things, basically when Syracuse are playing, and Syracuse are pretty fucking good. They don't get a lot of credit, Syracuse, on the grand scale of things, but they have a good team this year, man. They're dangerous. Syracuse are flying under the radar. And, their coach is a prick. Fuck. Boeheim's a prick, but they're a good team. So basically when you're betting Syracuse games, just look at the opponent's three-point percentage, essentially. It's not that rudimentary, but it is almost. Because their zone, they're playing their zone. And they play the zone better than anybody out there. That's their thing. That's Boeheim's thing. And he's got long arms to do it. He's got a bunch of long arm fucking dinosaur guys out there that can really take up a lot of space. There's 2 ways to beat that zone. You can hit the shot over the zone, or if you have a good point guard, you can penetrate it by attacking and the old fucking pick and roll stuff and the backdoor screens. If you have a good point guard that can really pass well, you can fucking cut into the zone and he can nail you. You can get a nice bounce pass into there and you can get a nice shot. But, it's hard to deal with the zone. UConn have experience with it. UConn are making a little run right now, 38-27. The total's up to in-game 139.5. People think, UConn can't score. Yeah, but Syracuse can. And people don't think of Syracuse as an offensive team either, but these motherfuckers can put points up too. So new in-game total is 139.5 right now. It's 38-27. So that's 65 points. There's still a buck 01 left in the first half of play here. Looking at in-game action, Texas A&M and Arizona are tied at 47 with 7.5 minutes remaining. This game is in Arizona. Grand Canyon are coming on the floor after these guys in this game. You would figure that Arizona would pull this game out. But Arizona aren't as good as they should be. Yeah, let's jump in on the fucking over of this, the in-game over. Syracuse just keeps scoring, and UConn are coming on, and they're going to foul. It's 139.5 right now. We're going to hit it came down to 127. It was 132. It went all the way down to 127. And I think it closed at 129. So it's sort of bouncing around. Right now it's 38.5, right after I took 39.5. Watch me lose by a point. One thing we know about UConn, especially in the Jimmy V Classic, how the hell do you give up? I don't know who the hell would call me right now. Strange. It really angers me when people call me when I'm doing a show. It's like, unless you got real good news. Like I said, I told you guys this before when your phone rings. Does anyone ever call with good news? I lost my phone. My life was better without it. I'm looking right now. I got a bunch of text messages. I got a drunk Mick Aussie. I got my fucking condo owner that's fucking all over the place texting me all the fucking time. Oh, I got a partner here. I got a cop in Pittsburgh. Our teammates here in the Vegas Super Contest starting to get excited. I didn't even realize we're on a 12-3 run. I sort of gave up on this year, but I didn't give up. I gave up in the sense that whatever, fuck. I know we're not doing as well as we'd like, so I didn't really look at the standings, but I don't know. People on Twitter are insane. Somebody sent me a tweet. They're like, Morency, congratulations on your 12-3 Super Contest run. I'm like, yeah, cool, thanks. He's like, you've climbed 718 spots in 3 weeks. I'm like, ooh. Now he's got a text here from one of our partners. It's all excited. Fuck. He's like, keep hope alive, brother. Survive and advance. That's 3 straight 4-1s. I don't even know the fucking I think it's from T-Bone. I don't even fucking know where this shit's coming from. Anyways, let's bring Donnie right side right now. Donnie would be doing really well in the Super Contest. He's been doing great this year in the National Football League. Donnie right side from Philadelphia. What's up, Donnie?
Hey, little late night anger management here. Season slows down, Gabe. Not much college football on, so now you can center on some college basketball, have some fun. Let's do it, man.
Yeah, that's funny because I'm just talking. I'm talking about sports and stuff, and people in chat, what about a pick? I want to gamble. I want to do this. Guys, the games have already started. There's a couple of minutes left. You know, it's not about just, let's roll the dice on some in-game that we're not fucking watching. It's about picking winners. I gave 10 picks on a TV show earlier today. I got one more tonight, but people they don't understand. There's exams going on now, man. It's a slow time. I talked about this earlier on TV, Donnie. The best time of the sports year to me is, the World Series, NFL, NBA, NHL, college football. When everything comes together at that time in late October, November, to me, that's the best time of the sports year. But that time has passed. It's like that time has passed. It is sort of calm before bowl season right now and stuff. All we really have is Army-Navy this week. We got some NFL football, even college basketball. There's exam time now in universities. Stuff is starting to slow down right now. The NBA kind of, and Christmas Day is the really unofficial, official tip-off to the season. Yeah. It's the calm before the storm now, Donnie.
I love it. I mean, the next time it ramps up really for me is when you look at the end of the National Football League season, when you get in the wild card weekend, then you get into conference play. Everything sort of kicks off. NBA is in full swing. The NHL, starts to dial up a little bit. You're right. You do hit that little bit of a lull. I focus more right now on the NFL, obviously, since that's, not till December 16th, till we get some bowl games in, but also college basketball. Now, December for me, Gabe, is a lot of watching and learning and taking notes on that. I don't really get ramped up until about January with college basketball, but I enjoy this time of the year because it's sort of that little bit of that downtime that I like, when the April starts with baseball, once college basketball is finally done, similar right now.
All right. So we will throw a pick out there though, guys. We got Syracuse and UConn at the half right now. And what's the score? Is it, so it's 40-29. Syracuse are up by 11. They were 6.5-point favorites in the basketball game to begin with. The total, like I said, bounced around. It opened at 132. It got bet down to 127. I think it closed to 129. Second half total right now. So they're at 69 points. Second half total, 70 points, which gets you to 138.5/139. Donnie, remember, listen, UConn and Syracuse are big rivals. Remember a couple of years ago, they played the legendary, 127-120 game or whatever, the 6 overtime game. And when you get invited to the Jimmy fucking V Classic, and Jim Valvano's fucking tagline is don't give up, never give up.
Don't ever
give up, never give in. When that's his tagline, you can't quit in a basketball game like this. And UConn won't quit in a game like this. We're going to get there with the points in the second half because there'll be a lot of fouls at the end of this basketball game. Like Kevin Ollie always plays shit to the whistle. I think we can get over 70 here in the second half.
Yeah, get some fouls. As long as you get that tight game down the stretch. And they're no strangers to Madison Square Garden. It's like a second home for Syracuse and Connecticut there. It's not like, too big for the environment. Don't really understand the shooting angles there. They've been there, done that plenty of times.
Like a whole court to these guys, both teams.
Yeah, exactly.
Too much talking and not enough clicking. Went up to 71 as we were talking. Fuck. Just like
look at what's that, minus a half-point second half there for the Syracuse. So expecting a big night from the Cuse here, obviously. He's double-digit win. Vegas is still expecting on that.
Yeah, I'm already on Syracuse minus a 6.5, so there's no value for me to jump in on that. But let me just get my Grand Canyon bet in here before I get pissed off about line movement here. So yeah, we're betting on Grand Canyon against St. John's here tonight, Donnie. The Lopes.
A little Dan Marley action, Thunder Dan action. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. You know what? They're the only publicly traded university in America.
Profit.
As we often talk about, Lope stocks up to like $94 fucking dollars now. And I told people to buy this shit at 26. Russia banned from the Olympics. Well, that's a fucking screw job right there.
Brazen effort by them to try to break into the doping rooms and switch things around. You got to respect it at least a little bit.
Yeah. Like they're the only country that cheats, right? What's the difference? So Russia's cheating and the United States are fucking molesting teenage gymnasts.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, but that seems to not be a problem in the USA suddenly.
The problem in college football, Gabe, not in gymnastics.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's true. Like Sandusky's in jail. I mean, actually, you know what? The trainer guy, gymnastic guy, he is going to jail. Actually, he's going to.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
It's funny too because you see these gymnast girls and they all look so fucking miserable, right? At the Olympics, they all look like little bitches and shit. But you understand why? Like they're getting yelled at, they're getting grabbed and groped, and like, that's why they all hate life. But anyways, that's besides the point. So yeah, we grabbed the Lopes, and I like the over 144 in this game as well, guys. Well, we should be able to get there.
Nice 11:30 start. That's perfect. Yeah, good job. I like it.
Yeah, we got some real late night degenerate action for the crew here.
Well,
all right, so we gave you over 70 here in the second half. We're going Grand Canyon plus the 5.5. I actually bought a half point and made it 6 over 144. So Donnie, were the Philadelphia Eagles exposed? Is this the beginning of the beginning of the end for the Eagles, or was it just a blip, a speed bump in what was a difficult spot against Seattle on national television? How do you think they respond this week against the LA Rams?
I think they respond well. I mean, you can't put a dollar figure. You can't put almost some spread sometimes on Russell Wilson, Gabe. I mean, we see it time and time again. I mean, the guy just makes plays. When he's on fire, it's tough to stop. Is it a tough game for the Eagles? Yeah. Did I think they would win the football game? Probably I did. Also, with the Rams coming up on deck. But the one thing that was tough in that football game, you're not going to win, Gabe, if your coach is all of a sudden going to be scared to go for on 4th and 1 when he's done it all year long. If your coach is going to not challenge plays that are pretty clear to the eye when you're down 7 in the fourth quarter on a key 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9. You're not going to win football games when your quarterback runs down to the goal line to open up the second half to tie the football game and fumble in the end zone. You're not going to win games when your running back runs down to the 1 yard line and your wide receiver is holding somebody at the 4 yard line when he didn't need to do it. When you make those mistakes against a good football team on the road game, you're going to lose those games straight up.
Yeah, I can't disagree. One thing I wonder about Doug Peterson is he hasn't really had to coach this year.
We killed him early on. Like we were killing him early on, Gabe, through the first 2 games. If you remember that Kansas City spot when the Eagles are on the road, which they're known that they can run the football with a great offensive line, they give LeGarrette Blount 0 carries in that football game. So he's been under fire. He's been getting skating away over the past 6-7 weeks because what he has touched is pretty much, went right. But now you look at that game where you face some adversity, where you need to lean on your coach. Didn't have a very good game in that one, Gabe.
And if you look, all right, in the early part of the year, there were some close games. The Redskin game was closer than the 30-17 score indicates. Week 2, the Kansas City game was tied 20-20 in the fourth quarter. Yeah. The Giant game went to overtime, long field goal. The Charger game early in the season, 26-24. And then the blowout started to happen. The 34-7 win against Arizona, beating Carolina, 34-24 against Washington. Then shit got easy. San Francisco 33-10, Denver 51-23, Dallas 37-9, Chicago 31-3. We're talking about a football team that basically went 2 months without playing a meaningful and close football game. And Peterson hasn't had a lot of thinking to do and, decisions on the spot. Now the stakes are higher than ever. And by definition, you're going to be playing in many closer football games. Now, the schedule eases up once again after you play the Rams this week at the Giants, host the Raiders, host the Cowboys. I personally think the Eagles are going to lose this game against the Rams, and then they should get back home and run, they should run the table after that, beat the Giants and then beat the Raiders and the Cowboys in the final weeks. But I think they lose this game to the Rams this week.
I mean, you can't really deny it at this point. I actually think they're going to come back and play. Looking at the schedule a couple weeks ago, even before this hot run, you probably figured, it would be really nice for the Eagles to go 1-1 because of how well the Rams and how well the Seahawks, tend to play at home. I think the Eagles were in a good bounce back spot, but it's nice to sometimes, Gabe, every sport, you've seen it, even growing up. Sometimes you need to get socked right in the mouth where, you're practicing your dance moves all week, you're blowing teams out. Then you step into that adversity, which the weeks before, if you watch the Chicago Bears game, you're fumbling the football. It doesn't matter. It's the freaking Bears.
I like that.
Now, and you say, you know what? Maybe we need to practice a little bit harder. Maybe those fumbles that we've had the past 2 weeks finally caught up to us. Maybe we need to buckle down a little bit. So you'll see a different type of environment with the Eagles coming out. And again, it's nice to play in LA. It's going to be nice weather. It's on grass. Home field advantage, not so much in that environment, but it's a good football team that they're going to go up against.
And they're practicing where the Angels play, Angel Stadium. So they're playing at the baseball stadium this week. Nice facility for them to get ready. They're going to be acclimated. The Eagles are a good team. I'm not ready to bury them. I'm not saying the Eagles are done on a year or anything like that. I mean, they're going to go to the playoffs and anything can happen once they get there. But I didn't like what I saw from that secondary at all. Back there, I didn't like the coverage back there. And, Russell Wilson's a magician and stuff. Are much more systematic. Great job putting Jared Goff in a position to succeed. They're a much more dangerous team. Todd Gurley and Jared Goff and Cooper Kupp, his ability to be open all the fucking time. He's hit or miss. And then you got the defense who really had a hard time earlier in the year adjusting to Wade Phillips' new schemes. And, quite frankly, the Rams defense wasn't as good as it has been in past years earlier this year. But past 3-4 weeks or so, they're starting to get it. They're starting to dial it up a little bit more on defense. And another thing is, I don't like East Coast teams playing on the West Coast. It never ends well for them. I don't believe it's going to end well for them. I think the Rams beat them. I'm not sure the Eagles are a better team than the Rams, and I got a home field only like 2.5 here.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you look at it as a whole, I mean, the scheme that Sean McVay's put in over the season has been amazing. I mean, it doesn't even matter. When Robert Woods went down, people thought, you're like, oh, my goodness, now you lose your hot wide receiver. What's going to take place here? Struggled a little bit, but last week versus the Arizona Cardinals, who have a decent defense and a decent secondary, we're able to shred them and move the football back and forth. They're going to come to play. The one thing I like about the Eagles in the spot, though, Gabe, is the front four does get after you. With Russell Wilson, it almost doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who the offensive line is. It doesn't matter if you're going against the Steelers' defensive front four from the 70s. He's going to get away and make some plays. The one thing you know about Jared Goff, he can throw the football. He's having a very good year, but you know where he's going to be. If your front four don't get home, Jared Goff's not going to take off and roll out of the pocket and throw dimes all over the football field. That's a little bit to the Eagles' advantage, but I agree. I mean, the Rams are a good football team, and it all boils down to, Gabe, it's hard to win on the road in the NFL.
A game that I'm looking forward to this game. It's going to be a good game. Right now, the Minnesota Vikings suddenly are the one seed in the NFC. A game that I'm looking forward to watching as well in the AFC this week is the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. And I think the Ravens are in a great spot here, Donnie. We talked about it. The Ravens were one of my best bets of the week this past week against the Detroit Lions. The Ravens are starting to get healthier. They lose Jimmy Smith. That's a problem. I'm not going to discount that. But let's look at the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. Pittsburgh Steelers just played last night in what was the most physical NFL football game in recent memory. I'll say it was the most physical football game since that fucking playoff game 2 years ago when the Bengals and Steelers turned it into a prison fucking fight, basically. And it got nasty and people got hurt. And that's what we saw on Monday. It got nasty and people got hurt. And so Shazier's hurt. And, we wish him the best, but, let's look at it from a football perspective. He's fucking good, Donnie. He's a big part of their defense. Juju Schuster suspended for his taunting shit and his hit and his bullshit there. He's going to miss this football game. They got fucking beat up last night, Pittsburgh. They might have won the game, but I got to tell you, man, the hot tub and and massage and the whirlpool and hot tubs and athletic trainers, those rooms are going to be fucking busy this week with the Pittsburgh Steelers training complex. They're beat up. Now you got a Baltimore Raven team that just kicked the shit out of the Lions, starting to get that little bit of Baltimore swagger going. I'm getting 5.5 points here against a beat-up Pittsburgh Steelers team. I like the Baltimore Ravens in this game a lot, Donnie. I'm excited for the card this week. I like the Ravens. I think it's a nice spot for them.
Yeah, it's interesting, even when you look at the spot itself, Gabe, Pittsburgh wants to beat Baltimore. Baltimore wants to beat Pittsburgh. We can throw the records out, 7-5 and 10-2. Who actually needs this football game more, Gabe, and towards making the playoffs in the AFC? It's clearly Baltimore. Let's play devil's advocate here for you. Juju Smith-Schuster's out, and obviously Shazier. Shazier looks like he's going to be out. I would be surprised, Gabe, if he plays again this year, to be honest, from everything you're hearing out there. I know he's starting to get some movement back in their extremities, but nobody's going to get rushed back on the field.
Yeah, he's not playing this year. No.
Yeah, so if you look at Pittsburgh here coming into this, let's just say, play devil's advocate with me, Gabe. You look at this game, Baltimore goes in and wins. They move to 8-5, Pittsburgh to 10-3. You know who's on deck the following week? The New England Patriots. Go out and beat the Patriots. Now you have the same record as the Patriots, and you still have the tiebreaker, and you get Schuster back, and you're also obviously going to get a more healthy Antonio Brown if he doesn't, trip up that foot anymore as it is. Who needs this game more? It's going to be a slug-out fest. Pittsburgh doesn't have the ability right now, it seems, to run away from teams. If you lean on Baltimore in the spot, they need this to get in their playoffs. If Baltimore loses this game, the division is still theirs. And then if you flip it over to the following week, go out and beat the Patriots with 2 games left. You have the advantage as the number 1 seed now in the AFC.
And when Baltimore lose, they don't lose by a big margin very often. They're a tough team to pull away from because of this defense. And the Ravens are fired up right now. They've won 3 straight football games. They won 4 of 5. Have they played difficult teams? No. But the fact of the matter is there are no difficult fucking teams in the AFC. It is what it is. The league's shit. The NFC's got 4, 5, 6 good football teams. And there's like 2 good football teams with Pittsburgh, and there's a few good teams in the AFC. But I like what I see from Baltimore right now. And in this rivalry and this series, there's been a lot of close football games over the year. You can almost just blindly tease the underdog to the under in this series, Donnie, and you'd make money. It's as simple as that.
It's a physical rivalry, and you're right. Don't get it twisted there. Watching that game on Monday Night Football, regardless of how it ended or if anybody had season-ending injuries, that's a physical football game, and you're already behind the 8 ball by playing on the road on a Monday night. Now you're flying home. Half the staff is worried about what's Ryan Shazier doing. And forget about, Ryan Shazier in the hospital, what that's going to, do as a mindset for the Steelers. You don't have a quarterback on defense playing here. What is it? Tyler Matakevich is going to take over him in the middle. That's a massive downgrade in the game with physicality, which you're going to need to plug that middle and play really well. That's a monstrous loss, man. Huge loss.
Not to mention, let's look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Last 3 weeks, 3-point win is 10-point favorites against the Indianapolis Colts. 14-point favorites on a Sunday nighter against the Brett Hundley-led Green Bay Packers, a 3-point win. Last night, 3-point win. Ben Roethlisberger, we saw it. I tweeted about this, and I talked about this last night. Ben Roethlisberger cannot throw the ball deep down the field, all right? He's got like the worst percentage of 20 yards and further. He struggles on the road, and we saw it last night. Cincinnati should have won that game last night. They're just fucking the Bengals. It is what it is. But we saw, he hit a couple of plays. Le'Veon Bell popped a few. But it's not like Ben is sharp or anything like that. He's just getting by. You know what I'm saying? Ben's just getting by, and he's doing enough, and he's doing his thing on guys and his guile and his, and the fact that his knowledge. He can still get it out quick. But only in sort of quick situations. And this is going to be tougher. The Baltimore Ravens are a tougher fucking team to play against than the Cincinnati Bengals, all right? And the Pittsburgh Steelers have now beaten the Cincinnati Bengals 9 out of the last 10 times they played. They always split with the Baltimore Ravens. I think they're going to be in tough here on the fucking I think they're going to be in tough here. Even though it's at home, the Steelers haven't blown anyone out really this year. Getting back home, maybe the Steelers win, but I think it's a smash mouth game, and if they win, they're going to win by a field goal again.
No, I mean, it's pretty easy to predict when you look at a football game. Both these teams know each other, and we see the MO every time they play. Right back to the Ray Lewis days, just smashing, hard-hitting. Getting back to your Ben Roethlisberger point, you're right, Gabe. If you look, I mean, I don't even want to say early in his career. Let's just go back 3-4 years. He had that Aaron Rodgers type appeal in the pocket. Not that he was faster, he was, could get out and run, but his movement in the pocket was always something you couldn't bring him down. You get an arm on him, he was able to get away. Now you just see it just seems a lot slower movement from the pocket, and you see him year after year now, Gabe. What's he talking about? Well, I'm going to have to think long and hard about coming back here. It's clear that his skill set has declined, which again, everybody, it seems, except for Tom Brady. But in these type of football games where you used to be able to get away, Gabe, and now Terrell Suggs going to bringing you down. It's going to be a slugfest. I'm glad, Gabe, and you're going to have the Betcast on Sunday night. What a great football game to go over and look at.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I really, I don't think we can overestimate the physicality of last night's football game and the difficulty it's going to be to play against the Baltimore Raven team right now. Yeah, an emotional game. Shazir's out. And a great point that you raise. Really, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but if you're the Steelers, they crunch this stuff, and Tomlin thinks about this stuff, and the coaches bring it up to each other, that really the big game is the following week. Even if we lose, we're going against the Patriots, and that's what this comes down to. It's almost like a college situation. Yeah, we lost. It's like Georgia, but we're in the SEC Conference Championship game, right? So, you're right, and just subconsciously – and like I said, Pittsburgh really haven't been playing great. They're not giving the ball to Le'Veon Bell much for whatever reason or not. They just don't give him the football. Pittsburgh had played poorly 3 consecutive weeks in a row, and they escape, and then the mainstream media hypes them up. Steelers win again, are fucking dangerous. And it's like, I don't look at them as dangerous. I look at them, they got a shitload of holes, and they just keep they keep just dodging bullets every night somehow.
No, you're right. I'm trying to get that schedule, Gabe, for the last. Do you have the schedule up for the Steelers' the last 2 football games of the season? Let me just try to roll through to see who they have. So I want to see how much that game actually means. So you got Pittsburgh, New England the following week, week 16. We got here Pittsburgh and Houston. They should be able to win that football game. And then week 17. The Browns. See that? There you go. Perfect case, Gabe. I love it. And you know what? I didn't even look that far down as doing my preliminary thoughts. Going into this game with Baltimore, what does it really mean for them? If they win this week and lose next week, they don't get home field advantage. If they lose this week to Baltimore and win next week, Gabe, they're going to get home field advantage. That's enormous. Get
healthy. You're right. And they're all beat up.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. I love the angle. It's a great angle now. Good job.
Yeah, it really is. Good call by you, because it's funny. Normally it's like, well, no, the division game is more important. No, it isn't.
Yeah, because they would be within like one game of each other. Like it doesn't really mean anything. You're right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They're going to win the division. They're not concerned about the division. They got to beat the fucking Patriots. And it's a great call, though. You're right. Like, if you're Tomlin, the guys are a little bit beat up and shit, you can even hold someone out and say, listen, we need to beat the Patriots more than we need to beat the Ravens. Beating the Ravens and losing to the Patriots, we're in the exact same fucking spot we're in right now. It doesn't do anything.
You're right.
Exactly right.
Yeah, if you go 1-1, you have to pick the right 1-1 here. You beat the Ravens. Oh, great. We already had the division. Lose to New England. What did you really gain? It's a great scenario. It's almost similar game we looked at on with the Packers game Sunday. The Tampa Bay need that game? No, but you see the horizon for Green Bay. Oh, we can get Aaron Rodgers back. Let's make a comeback. They end up winning the game in overtime. But a similar scenario, when one team really needs it. And again, Pittsburgh's not just going to come out and lay down and say, hey, we're at home. So what, Baltimore? Go ahead and take the victory. But Baltimore says we're in playoff mode automatically now, when the Pittsburgh Steelers can take a breath if they lose and go, hey, Super Bowl for us basically is next week anyway. I like it. Good stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm in. I'm getting excited for the card. Getting excited. George is getting excited. All right. Let's take what else do we got as far as cool games? Let me just pop the NFL, the college basketball board up. I'm all over the place here. All right, so Thursday night's game, Donnie, is a good one. The Saints and the Falcons, and some money coming in right now on the Saints. It's up to 2 points, total 53. This is a must-win game for the Falcons, much more so than it is for the Saints, but it's a big game all around. These two are big rivals. They historically have played high-scoring games over the years. The road team has historically done really well in this series over the years as well. You're going to get a desperate Falcon team. this is a better matchup for the Falcons than the Vikings were. But I got to tell you, Alvin Kamara just keeps getting better and better on a weekly basis. On every game, he's getting better. He's catching passes out of the backfield. It's crazy. Like, how many times I've seen Kamara over the last couple of weeks on like a 3rd and 8 or something like that. He's just got that, give me the fucking ball, I'll get the first down mentality. And he either runs you over or he sideswipes you. The lethal combination of Ingram, it's unbelievable. They're averaging like 55 fantasy points combined every week. They're both putting up superstar running back numbers together. And they're a dangerous fucking team. But you got to, the Falcons are in a must-win situation. But the Saints are a better football team this year than the Falcons are. What do you make of this one?
Yeah, it's a great game, and it's a Thursday night game. It's going to be a short week. The one thing I'm keeping an eye on is a Mark Ingram toe injury. He hasn't practiced yet, but that's probably more of a precaution. Just try to keep him healthy for this tilt. But you're right, Gabe. When you look at New Orleans, always in the past, it was like a pinball arcade game. You knew Drew Brees was going to drop back 45 times and throw you to a victory. Now the fact that they can beat you multiple ways, it takes so much off of that defense. Instead of New Orleans going out there, Gabe, and going, you know what? 4 plays, 62 yards and a touchdown. The defense goes back out there. Now you're leaning on those running backs. And Alvin Kamara, I mean, say what you want about Tennessee football at this point and Butch Jones. He barely even got Kamara on the football field. Now you see what he can do. This guy was supposed to be, if McCaffrey was, slid back and the Panthers would have known what Alvin Kamara could do, damn right, they would have taken Kamara over McCaffrey at this point. But it's been amazing. They're doing everything right and coupling that now with playing good defense. I think New Orleans is the better overall football team coming into this game. The one thing, again, that you look from that Minnesota side where Minnesota can slow down Julio Jones with Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback. You can't really do that, even though Lattimore's been good. Hawley's been good on the opposite side, Crawley. Looking at this game, Gabe, I can't argue with New Orleans on the road here. I think they're the better football team.
I know. It's just, that game against Carolina wasn't quite as physical as the Monday Nighter, but that was a pretty emotional game that they played against the Panthers. I think Atlanta could be in a better spot and just a little bit more dialed in and dialed up here.
Technically, yes, Atlanta does need the football game more than New Orleans does. You're at home, short work week, and Atlanta does tend to play well. I mean, they didn't get blown out last week by Minnesota. If the field goal kicker doesn't miss that field goal late, it's a completely different situation, but neither here nor there. Both teams matched up here. New Orleans is playing a more physical brand of football, but you're right. Atlanta's season is on the line. They lose, they're going home for the rest of the year, and that's always something you have to take into account.
I'm kind of leaning with the Falcons, to be honest, and in a real tough game, man. And I don't know, is the total? And I'll tell you, the Washington Wizards are responding after the embarrassment last night. Portland fucking suck, the Blazers. Fuck, this team pisses me off. Blazers are down 47-37. You guys got 37 fucking points and a half against a John Wall-less Washington Wizard team. Seriously, fuck. Maybe fucking Lillard. Stop rapping so much. Start scoring. Fuck. The 53, I don't know. Are we going to get a game that just opens up and gets a track meet? They're few and far between, Donnie. Even the games that go over, they sort of, they get there, they stunt, they in stunts. It's never easy. We haven't had a lot of, especially in these prime time games, we haven't had a lot of, holy shit, it's one of those 38-35 games.
And you keep on waiting for that because usually, Gabe, in the past 5 years, isn't that New Orleans' MO? Especially when you're in the NFC South and you're playing in domes. Whether or not New Orleans in the dome, they're going to a dome in Georgia. Both of these offenses can light it up, but it seems like New Orleans is almost content saying, you know what? Now that we have a running game, we can lean on a little bit. You expected more points in that Rams game when they played New Orleans. Didn't get that, I don't want to say that much. They got, decent amount, but same thing last week with the Carolina Panthers. Now you're flipping it over going, oh, man, Atlanta and New Orleans, they should shoot it out there, but just not the MO of these two teams. And when you're getting into that playoff mode where both teams have to win, a lot of these coaches take a little bit more of a step back saying, you know what, let's not go big. Let's not, go 3rd and 2 play action and throw a bomb. Let's just get the first down, move the chains, keep the clock moving. 53 is a lot of points for a division battle there, especially with how much is on the road. And Gabe, also a Thursday night football game. These guys are still banged up from the previous week's games. I mean, physical game with Minnesota. And again, you played another tough conference game with New Orleans. You're still coming in there, short work week. The game plan usually tends to me to be a little bit more under, unless we're looking at like a 41 or a 42. I would lean under the 53 at this point in this game, Gabe.
I'm going to be betting a lot of spots this week. That's the way I'm approaching it this week. And I think Seattle's in a bad spot, Donnie, after that Sunday nighter against the Philadelphia Eagles. They needed that win. They got the win on their home field. But I think this is a tough spot for them going into Northern Florida right now against the Jacksonville team. It was just at home, been waiting for them. And you talked about it, Russell Wilson. He's like Michael Jordan of the NFL. He's just a magic man. He makes stuff happen. But he ran for his life, and he was able to pull it off against the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Mills got fucking torched. The Eagles didn't play well. And I'm not ready to pick on the Eagles and bury the Eagles for it because the Eagles have been, great this year of showing up every week. But, me and Dave Malinsky talked about this. Russell Wilson is going to be running around. The Jacksonville Jaguars have 45 sacks on the season. They're fucking relentless, and they rotate like 7 guys. It's brilliant. But every play, guys, it's just like an assembly line. They don't even really play favorites. It's just, in and out. 7 guys, 4 guys rush, 4 guys rush, 4 guys rush, and the other guys run off the field, and the new fucking fat guys run out there. And it's constant. And a lot of people don't watch the Jags, but they fucking wear you out, dude, with this shit. They just come at you in waves constantly. They got a vicious secondary back there. The whole stuff about them not being able to stop the run's kind of a fallacy as well. They've shored that shit up. They're a nasty football team defensively, this team. I think Russell Wilson could get beat up and have a hard time making magic happen here. And on the other side, you got Leonard Fournette and a battering fucking ram. They're a dangerous team to play. I think it's a bad spot for the Seahawks here. And, I'm not going to say the Seahawks don't want to win here, Donnie, but we're talking about schedules and stuff. If you're the Seahawks, this is the game you'd rather lose against an AFC team than an NFC team or a division team or an NFC team because that comes into the tiebreaker shit.
No, you're right, Gabe. And if you take a look, who's coming, a couple weeks down the line, you're going to get that Rams game at home, which is a game you absolutely have to win. And a lot of things can change, especially this weekend with the Eagles playing the Rams. But you're right. This is
shit that we were just talking about with the Steelers, Donnie, almost. If you're the Rams, if you're the Seahawks, you need to win every week. But really, it's like, fuck, we need to beat the Rams, man. We need to get division wins, and we need to get conference wins in case this shit comes down to a tiebreaker. We're tied with someone. And yeah, they got the Rams there. They get the Cowboys, and then they host the Cardinals to wrap things up. I'm not saying that any team goes into a game saying, "Oh, we can lose this game," but like I said, their season isn't over if they lose this game, and I think subconsciously they know that.
Yeah. And you can't look at what Seattle home and away is completely different, especially now that they're banged up. What Jacksonville does is what you technically have to do to beat Seattle. You need an overwhelming front four. You're going to get Russell Wilson off the turf. He's going to be slowed down a little bit on grass. You don't have that advantage. You're going to be in Jacksonville, so your defense doesn't block out the offensive signal calls where you get to jump every single play on the offensive side of the ball as you would at home. Perspective, they can shut down everything Seattle wants to do. It's a lockdown secondary. Just put Ramsey on Baldwin. You can just say goodbye to Doug Baldwin in this football game, and you're not going to go out there and say, you know what? Even if Jacksonville did have that mirage where they don't, stop the run, getting Darius back there really shored that up. But what are you going to do on the? Can they bring a running game against that Jacksonville defense? No. You're going to have Russell Wilson, which, again, Gabe, he can do, but he's going to have to play 4 quarters of street ball to beat a really good football team. And if you're looking from Jacksonville on the opposite side, it would be nice to get Allen Hurns back in this football game to maybe extend a couple drives to give that wide receiver release. But make no bones about it, Gabe. It's going to be one of those games you say, Bortles, I want you to hand this ball off 35 to 40 times. We'll spread it around. We're going to play lights out defense. I like Jacksonville in this spot. Look, early tickets, Gabe, 80% lining up on Seattle? That line's not moving anywhere. I was actually hoping it would dip down to a true 2.5 there because I would jump right on Jacksonville. But my mindset right now, Gabe, same as yours. I want Jacksonville or nobody in this game.
I like a lot of the games this week actually on the board. When I look, the ones that jump off the page of me, Jacksonville -3 sticks out to me. I like the Packers at -3, up to 3.5 right now. Packers haven't quit on the season. They'll beat the Cleveland Browns. Up to 3.5 right now, though. I actually think the Redskins trade points with the Chargers. Chargers aren't a good favorite. And we saw this. They played 13.5 against the Browns. They were never even close to covering a number in that game. The Chargers are a really trendy team right now, and I get it. But it doesn't mean they're going to cover as 6-point favorites in a football game. And, we talked about the Baltimore spot, and I'm curious to see how the Giants respond, Donnie. They didn't like McAdoo. Well, McAdoo's gone. You got Spagnuolo in there. He has NFL experience, so it's not like he's some fucking DB coach. It's clueless and doesn't know how to run a room or run a team. So you got Eli Manning back at quarterback. Now, I actually think Geno Smith is better than Eli Manning in this situation. And I'm not saying that Geno Smith is a great quarterback or even a good quarterback. But what I'm saying is Eli Manning does suck now. All right. And I think that Eli Manning got screwed over. I don't think that he was treated right. I don't think they should have screwed him over in a 210 game consecutive streak. But I do think that, put it this way. I took the Giants last week plus the points against the Raiders. And we covered. If that happened, if Eli Manning plays in that game, the Raiders fucking kill him and they don't cover. Geno Smith's mobility did change things. But, you could say the Giants have quit on the year, but they're not going to quit in a spot like this. They just got a coach fired. They need to respond right now. Everybody bitched about Eli Manning. Well, Eli's back right now. And you're playing against a team that you don't like. And even if you were fucking, 0-15, you'd want to try and show up against the Dallas Cowboys. What do you make this one, Donnie, with the Giants getting 4.5 on their home field?
Yeah, you know what? I don't really like to take road, in certain situations, but I do think Dallas is the markedly better football team here. And let's not forget also Dallas is going to have a little bit extra days to prepare. Sean Lee's going to play in this football game. You're going to have a more complete Dallas team that's actually looking towards the playoffs, saying, make our way this week or next week. We have a legitimate shot to make a run and get in, which I don't think they're going to get into the playoffs, but that's the mindset you're still going to have coming in. And again, getting healthy at the right time. You're right, Gabe. When you looked at the Geno Smith, I bet the under in that football game just because I didn't think there's going to be many points, especially from the Raiders side, having 2 wide receivers out. But the problem's going to lie with what Giants team are we going to get? I mean, I get Spagnuolo's going to get in there and, Eli's coming back. But just because Eli's coming back, we've seen him over the past couple of years. He's not just going to get a surge like, oh, I'm really going to come out and play really well in this football game to show everybody I shouldn't have been benched. It was embarrassing. I don't know how much is that going to help from a points perspective. It looks like the public's buying into it, Gabe. What did it open up at 6? Now we're sitting at about 4.5. You had a 4 at the Greek, 4.5 CG Technologies, 4.5 sportsbook.com. So let's call it 4.5 right here. I think Dallas is the better team. We just have to evaluate what you're actually going to get out of this football game from Dallas' side. I think, nice win that they had. Now you're feeling a little bit better. Dak got back on track with a couple touchdown passes, relatively healthy. Sean Lee's going to get back. It's always nice to get that bump there. Yeah. I just don't know, Gabe, what actually the Giants are going to bring to the table here in order to score enough points. I mean, they're going to have to get 21, 24 points in this game. That's not something they really do.
2 quick games and we'll get you out of here, Donnie, and I appreciate you joining me. The Raiders and the Chiefs, intriguing. No, everyone's buying in on the Raiders here suddenly. The Raiders at 6-6. This game's for first place, and the Chargers are right there at 6-6 as well. But I think the Chiefs are finally going to win. I mean, the Chiefs' offense lit it up against the Jets. The defense was terrible. The Raiders just beat the Giants, but the Raiders are not a good football team this year. They're 6-6. It is what it is. It's just because everyone else is fucking terrible around them that they're still in this. So I actually lean with the Chiefs. Then you have the Vikings and the Panthers. And, the Panthers fucking pissed me off. So I think I got to pass on this game. I take the Vikings every week, essentially. But I think it's a bad spot for the Vikings. But I just quite simply don't trust Cam Newton. I can't take this fucker ever again. I don't like Mike Shula. I don't like the play calling. Too many times, Donnie, I see Carolina Panther games. They make plays, but there's no sense of urgency. It was the same shit, man. They were fucking trailing by double digits. Cam Newton's like walking up to the line of scrimmage. Yeah. Mike Shula's fucking, dinking and dunking. It's, it was the same shit against the Bears. Remember you and I watched that Bears game? It's like, guys, you're not winning by 7. Yep. You're losing by 7. And everything's just slow. There's no urgency. And then with 6 minutes left, Cam Newton starts running people over and throwing bullets. I'm like, why the fuck didn't you do this before, dude? He's just a fucking head case. I can't deal with their bullshit anymore, Donnie.
There's a couple sharp plays on the board. If you look at Jacksonville, if you look at Carolina, and then if you look at the Los Angeles Rams, of those 3 games, Gabe, the one I'm having the hardest time right now making a case for actually is the Carolina Panthers, even though I do like them in this spot, because you're right. Defense travels everywhere. Yes, I'm going to hear it again with the Minnesota Vikings. They went on the road on Thanksgiving to play Detroit. That was a tough game. They went on the road versus Atlanta down south. That was a tough game. Now you're going on the road again for your 3rd straight game, which I know there's some nice trends out there that says, 3 games on the road usually doesn't hold up well, especially in the last game if it's a tougher opponent, which it's going to be. But when you look from Carolina, Gabe, you still have McCaffrey banged up. Now you have Funchess banged up. Olsen, is he going to play in this football game? Charles Johnson still suspended as the defensive end. So you're getting some chinks out of there. And you say, well, what does Carolina really like to do on offense, Gabe? Good luck scoring a lot of points on that Vikings defense. I think the advantage is with the Vikings, but if you're going to give me maybe 3.5 with Carolina, I'll try to build the case. But of those 3 games, Gabe, I just talked about, I'm having the hardest case taking Carolina just because I don't know if they're going to be able to score, the 21 to 24 points that's going to be required. Minnesota is going to play some kick-ass defense and matches up really well with them.
Yeah, and who would you rather have your money on in a chess match, Mike Zimmer or Ron Rivera?
Exactly. I mean, it really does boil. I mean, you can be as sharp as you want, saying I'll take the home team that needs to play to get the points, and Minnesota's running away with the division. I hear all that, but when you match up Carolina, if they were completely healthy, Charles Johnson's in, Olsen's ready to go, no problems, and say, you know what, that's a pretty good go. But there's a lot of injury information there for the Carolina Panthers, making me a little bit leery on this game.
All right, and finally in closing, Donnie, we got one college game. We have FCS playoffs this week, but we've got one big game, and this is a big one. Army and Navy, and they always pour it on thick for Army and Navy, and the tradition, and for the most part it's a pile of crap. Growing up, the Army Navy games always sucked for me. It's one of those.
They were usually bad football teams too. I mean, for like 20 years, this was the only game they cared about. They both would come in 2-8 every single year, but now all of a sudden they're actually decent teams. Yeah, it's
like, dear God, this is bad. But over the last couple of years, Navy's been a good team. And, Army actually has turned it around under Todd Monken. Or, no, was it? Which fucking Monken? Yeah, it's
is it Jeff Monken?
For Jeff Monken.
Yeah, there you go.
Jeff Monken. Todd Monken's the idiot with Tampa. So Jeff Monken. Yeah, Army, I mean, it started last year actually with Army, just sort of out of the blue. I remember Army were 1-24 in their last 25 road games, and they beat fucking Temple to start the year off. Yeah. And of course, I was on Temple. And I'm like, holy shit, fuck. This is
Temple's really bad this year. Yeah, we all had the same opinion after that game.
Yeah, and so then suddenly Army, but long story short, so Army are a good football team now. And this is for the Commander-in-Chief trophy. They have the same record as Navy. It's for the Commander-in-Chief trophy. And this is a big fucking deal to Army. Army have only won this thing 6 fucking times in their history. And they've been playing this for a long time, Donnie. Army football's been around a long time. They've only won like 6 Commander-in-Chief trophies. This is only the 3rd time since 1978, man, that the Commander-in-Chief trophy is at stake in this football game. So this really is the biggest Army-Navy football game in a long fucking time.
No, and I would agree with you. If you're looking at, points, I know it peaked a little bit at 3.5, but let's just call the line 3 at this point. What has Army shown you this year, Gabe, that, forget about getting beat or winning the football game, that where they can't compete? Look at the last 5 games, 28-27, 31-28, winning 21-0, 21-16 winner, losing to North Texas 52-49. They're in every single football game. Now, from Navy, they should be getting a little bit healthy here. The schedule is a little bit harder from Navy side. UCF, Temple, SMU, Notre Dame, and Houston to close out the season. So when you're looking at from a talent perspective, the harder road obviously was from Navy, in my opinion. But in this game, I want the points. They're 2 similar ball clubs. Both know how to win. Both know how to win close games. Also, over under about 46, even though I know that clock is going to be running. I think they're going to pull out some stops. They're going to see some fake punts, some fake field goals, some trickeration out there. So if I'm going to lean right now, Gabe, give me Army plus the points. Give me the over 46.
Yeah, the over 46, I was going to bring this up. It's ballsy. Over 46, it's 11 straight.
Clock's going to be running. Yeah.
11 straight times they've gone under the number, these 2 teams, because they both run the ball so much and they both know each other's offense and they both know the options so much. But I tend to think there's going to be some points put up on the board. There's been 11 straight unders, but there really hasn't been as much talent on the field this year as there has been in past years, Donnie. These teams are just much better right now.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, if you want to take a look at a game where that might give you a little bit of pause taking the over game, I mean, they did play Air Force a couple weeks ago, 21-0 and dominated. But to me, I think Navy overall is the better football team. And Navy also banged up a lot to end the season. I think Navy's going to put a little bit of pressure on the Army team. We know Army's not going to throw the football, that's for sure. But when you watch Army football games, they're not, Mr. 3 and out over there. They're going to put up first downs. They're going to wear the defense out. And I think in these 2 games in this environment, it's going to open it up a little bit more than usual. I can see them getting into the low 50s here in this one.
Yeah, I can't disagree, Donnie. I can't disagree. And yeah, we brought it up. So Army's only won 6 Commander-in-Chief trophies in the history.
Yeah, Navy's dominated for a while too. Yep.
Air Force have 20. Air Force have 20. Navy have 15. Army have 6. The last time Army won a Commander-in-Chief trophy was 21 years ago, guys. 1996. All right, so you don't think these guys aren't fucking fired up for this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fired up just, knowing the stakes of this football game. And as you stated, Army beat Navy last year for the first time in 14 years. So you got a revenge spot for Navy, but you got Army that are just desperate to get their hands on this trophy. I'm really looking forward to this game. Like I said, it's always been a pile of crap, this game, but this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, gambler's paradise. I mean, even back in my college days and high school days, you're always looking for something to bet on. I'm like, damn, we got the Army-Navy game this week, and it's usually, a pile of you never know what you're going to get, some upsets there. But we know Navy's been in command over the past couple of years. But it's also good if you're betting Army this year as well. You finally got the monkey off your back. You're not coming in this game with all that pressure like, you know what? The only game that matters is this one, and we haven't won it in damn near 10 years. So at least they got that off, and I think they're going to be able to maybe pull out a win. At least keep it close, Gabe. That's their MO. I'm going to lean on them 3 points there.
Donnie, right side. All right, great stuff as always, Donnie. I appreciate you taking the time. I went a little longer than I was going to keep you for, but time just flew talking football. Enjoyed it. Thanks for taking the time to be with us, and we'll see you Sunday on the closing line.
I love it, brother. Have a good show. We'll do it again soon. See you Sunday, boss.
There's Donnie Rightside. Great stuff. Give an applause to Donnie Rightside, and thanks to Donnie for joining us here on the Twisted Tuesday. All right, second half is starting here. Portland. You got to believe Portland's got a little bit of a running left in them here. I want to get a second half pick in here, but actually I got all my money tied up. What's going on in the Syracuse game? Cuse are up 58-46. We've got 35 points scored so far, 10 minutes in. I like it. We're not running away with the total here, second half, but we're on pace. We're on pace. Grand Canyon and the Red Storm are going to tip off in about 10 minutes' time. If you're just joining us right now, I'm on Grand Canyon plus 6 points and over 144. I'm getting fired up for the NFL this week. I like these games, man. I'm getting a lot of hate, of course. We talked about Conor McGregor, real class act. Some British pop singer fucking with big tits there's posted a picture of her fucking with Conor McGregor and said date night. Except Connor's all over this chick and shit. I guess she's a rapper. She's like Izzy Azalea is fucking some, I don't know, man. She's a white chick that fucking pretends she's black, essentially. So, it's just funny, though, because she's getting a ton of fucking hate. Like, her own fans are turned on her. They're like, Connor's taken. He's not married, but he's had a baby and shit. So people are like, you're a fucking home-wrecking bitch. And you have all these, like, fucking Conor McGregor fans, like, piling on her. You're causing problems for Conor. It's her fault. I know. Last time I checked, she's not the one with a fucking baby at home. She's just some fucking Pop-Tart fucking trying to fucking get publicity. Right? Like, it's on Conor McGregor, but we talked about it last week, guys. I don't want to get into the TMZ aspect of this. I don't care who he fucks, all right? I don't want to get into the aspect of this, but it's just another sign of the beginning of the end for this guy. Asshole, motherfucker, blowing through his money, fucking punching fucking drug cartel guys out and running his mouth about it after. Fucking Wizards are winning by 20. You really are a gutless piece of shit team, Portland. I fucking hate the Blazers, man. You guys you roll over all the time on your home court. You just do. But you look at Conor and the guy, he's just, you can't say he hasn't changed. And Is he thinking about fighting right now? No. He's going through his $100 million. He's cheating on his chick. He's running around in bars, punching fucking mobsters out and talking shit after about it. He's a fucking idiot. If you're a Conor McGregor fan, instead of like cheering and applauding his behavior all the time, you should actually be concerned. Like, if you really are a true fan, you like this guy for real, instead of thinking everything he does is cool, you should be very concerned. The guy's obviously coked out of his fucking mind all the time. It's clear. Trust me. I know. All right. So the guy's doing fucking blow daily. He's fucking wired all the time. You see he's fucking going crazy. He looked like shit when he in those pictures with that chick. He thinks he looks good. I look fucking great. Yeah. Whatever, dude. You can put a fucking expensive suit on a scumbag, but if you're still a scumbag, you're still a scumbag. And you can just tell, like, he's sweating out blow and shit. He just looks terrible. It's like, dude, you got a 7-month-old kid at home, and you're at some fucking British Music Awards fucking groping some chick's tits. Karma's a bitch, dude. The fight gods are going to get you. Real life's going to get you. Maybe the Irish fucking cartel is going to get you. But, and it's funny, you talk shit about Floyd and all this shit. Now Floyd's laughing, talking about how he carried Conor just to fucking not embarrass him, and I believe him. And the thing is, dude, you're gonna lose, right? Like, all this shit. I don't see Conor concentrating on fighting. I don't see him, man. It's funny, Conor like boasts about how rich you are all the time, but how about you act like you've been there before, bro? If you were a smart guy. Like, guys don't sign $100 million deals, or like Conor only got $40 million out of it. So guys don't in the NFL and the NBA, you don't get $40 million and then you know what? Go punch out a mob boss, jump into a fucking octagon, fucking punch out a fucking Bellator official, push a referee, fucking cheat on your fucking girlfriend publicly. You don't do this shit, because what you're thinking is, well, you know what? I got $40 million now, but in 3 or 4 years, if I don't fuck up and actually play well, they're going to give me fucking $140 million. So I'll just fucking get through this and get really rich. Conor's stupid. If Conor McGregor was smart, instead of fucking doing the stupid bullshit that he's doing, he'd already have a fight lined up right now. You're hot right now. People seem to eat your bullshit up. I don't. I think you're a fucking scumbag fucking punk, but whatever. So people eat this shit up. We live in a scumbag punk society in which you get rewarded for being a dick, in politics and sports and entertainment, whatever. LeVar Ball. LeVar Ball's a fucking clown, all right? He's a fucking clown. Yeah, hey, he's in our conscience. Kim Kardashian's a fucking slutty skank, fuck. Her mother's a whore. But hey, they're popular. Oh, they make money. Oh, yeah, but, society's been so fucking dumbed down now that, basically, if you suck cock and have a fucking sex tape and then have a reality show, somehow you're respected. What does Kim Kardashian have to say about global warming and, the Me Too movement? Kim Kardashian doesn't have fucking anything to say about fucking anything besides, where's my fucking tan spray? What time is the fucking chauffeur bitch going to pick me up at? She doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, society is so low. You have politicians who are pedophiles. You have fucking people in charge of the world who are fucking dumb as fucking rocks. And people get, oh, man, we voted. All right, it's democracy. That's why when someone asks me about the Supreme Court case, I don't give a shit about the Supreme Court case and their betting case. I don't give a fuck. Today, the Supreme Court's arguing about a fucking gay couple getting a fucking cake. You're telling me that in the United States of America, the Supreme Court shouldn't be fucking debating things more important than a fucking cake. Oh, and our democracy is just great. No, your democracy is fucking stupid, all right? Your democracy, you want to sit here and talk about shit. Who gives a fuck about the cake? If the guy doesn't want to make the cake, don't make the cake, all right? And if you're the gay couple, how about you go to another fucking store and get the fucking cake from someone else that wants to make you the fucking cake? It's just, really, we're going to waste fun. We're going to stand in oral arguments for sports betting. I don't know, fuck. You know, sports betting exists everywhere in the fucking world except his fucking country. So I don't want to sit here and waste time and talk to you like we're 30 years behind the rest of the fucking world. I don't care. If you want to be stupid, go play your little games in the Supreme Court and put your little robes on and talk about, your rights as a man to make a cake and sports betting and, I'm a U.S. congressman. You know what? You're a cocksucker, okay? You're a cocksucker that wastes people's time, money, resources, and you don't further anyone's cause in the fucking world. You hold people back by fucking spending taxpayers' dollars on arguing over a fucking cake. We're going to take a quick break here right now. See, big man, Kim is a genius. She's not a genius, big man. She's a skank. Because, big man, because somebody makes money doesn't make them a genius. That doesn't make her a genius. Prostitutes make money. Are they geniuses? But it's because of people that think, she's a genius. She's not a genius. She sucked a rapper's cock, all right? And she's hot. That doesn't make her a genius. We're taking a break. Neil deGrasse Tyson is a fucking genius. Stephen Hawking is a genius. Kim Kardashian is a prostitute. There's a big difference. I blame the Portland Trailblazers for that rant. Fucking cocksuckers piss me off, man. See, but that's the problem. You guys seem to equate making money as being a genius. Like I said, Stephen Hawking is a genius. Neil deGrasse Tyson is a genius. People that build fucking spaceships are geniuses. Because you have a reality TV show and you make money, that doesn't make you a genius. It makes you a reality television star. All right, come on, Portland.
And this is where I like this when you need your best player to step up. And a nice find there by McCollum over to Aminu. He'll get a look like he's about to dunk it, made everybody fall, and just laid it up. And this is where it comes down for me, Chris Paul and Damian Lillard. Chris Paul, and he's still hanging on as one of the top 5. Tell you what, he's obviously not like even in the abbreviated season, getting 10 or even 42. I think it's a stronger case to be made for Damian Lillard today than there has been the last couple of years. And I'm with you. I'm not putting James Harden as the point. LeBron James is the point. And in the Vince case, Vince really is the point guard. And that's LeBron and James Harden. He got a chance to make a 4-point play. As you can see, come off. A little step back there, yes. Right on our wrist. There it is. I don't know. They need that crowd into this game. You got to not so much that you have to score, but you got to make plays to get your team good looks. Yeah, that's a good call there. See, for me, that pick and roll with Westside was so far out. Yeah. Trapping that. And then he gives up the basketball and he gets to the line at 3-point line. He can take that shot or pick up the jump shot all he wants, but it's the further it's out that I have a guy that I don't think can make a 20 off the dribble. I got to trap it. And we were debating for the audience out there during the half. Back in the day, you used to trap pick and rolls consistently. And you could do it in part because the court was small, right? And you didn't have to guard the entire 3-point line. You just had to know where one guy was generally on the 3-pointer. Whereas in today's game, when you look at the top teams, they're going to have 3-point shooters out there. So you can't generally trap that 3-pointer. But I got to get Aminu with the foul there against Morris. Crowd let them hear it. And you know what? I thought it was a bad call. That's a clean block. You gotta hit a guy create space.
The balls, yeah. LeVar Ball's an idiot. We talked enough, though. We talked enough about the balls today. Exactly, Kevin White. Let's be real, though. Like, society is at an all-time stupid low, right? Fucking, who's that fat fucking mother there? The kid, Honey Boo Boo, and fucking, you know. I guess she's a genius, too. They're all geniuses. No, they're not geniuses. It's just people are that fucking stupid. Yeah, but Banner will join us tomorrow night, like he's going to be joining us in Vancouver. Some great soccer talk with Big Man on Campus today on the Fantasy Sports Network. We shook it up a little bit with all those Champions League games. Seems like there's some good plays on the board tomorrow in the Champs League. There's a rumor that Lane Kiffin is going to get hired in Oregon. Or at least he's on their list. Lane Kiffin with the Ducks is a fucking perfect fit. Let's be real. You know, like if you're the Ducks, you're a little rattled now. You know, you lost Willie Taggart. Taggart's a prick. Fucking splits right away. So you lose Taggart. College coaches are scumbags. They just are. Like, speaking of scumbags, these guys are the real geniuses. Fuck, they fucking make fucking tens of millions of dollars. They screw over teams, and other teams hire them again. It's like you realize if the guy bolted this school, he'll bolt you too, right? You know, it's amazing how these guys just, you know, whatever. But they're not. The Ducks aren't happy that Chip Kelly ended up with UCLA. You know, he left there on good terms and stuff, right? Hey, I'm going to the NFL. I don't really want to go, but you know, now he ends up coaching in their conference. He's going to poach their fucking players because Oregon really rely on LA a lot to recruit. The Ducks can't fuck this up right now. Now, the Ducks look like they were sort of on their way back a little bit. They can't screw this up. And, you know, you have the Nike money behind you. You have the Phil Knight powerhouse. You've got to get a flashy, sexy coach if you're the Ducks. I didn't even think Willie Taggart was a good fit for them, to be honest with you. I really like, you know, the names. They're talking about Mike Leach. Fuck. Mike Leach sucks, all right? Mike Leach, fuck. I'm so sick of Mike Leach. Yeah, and his fucking stupid press conferences and shit. Whatever, dude. You can win 8 or 9 games, but you've never won a big game in your fucking life. All right? You never won a big game in your life. To me, Mike Leach is good for Washington State, Texas Techs of the world. He's not a big-time guy. You know, I wouldn't, if I was the Ducks, I wouldn't go down this route. Yeah, he's not your guy. It's going to turn into a shit show. It's just going to be all about him. And I'm not saying he's not a good coach. I'm just stating, to me, he's not the fit. Mario Cristobal is going to be coaching him in a bowl game. Remember, he was the coach of the Florida International Panthers. He sort of built that program up. I think there might have been a few scandals behind the scenes type shit, you know, envelopes and stuff, but not a big enough name. Not a big enough name. Kevin Sumlin's on their list. I could live with Sumlin in Oregon. Sumlin's not a bad coach, but, you know, are you going to knock off USC? Are you going to deal with Chip Kelly? I could live with fucking Sumlin with the Ducks. There was a rumor that Sumlin was going to get the job with Central Florida. I thought that would have been a nice fit, but they went with Josh Heupel, which is a nice hire for Central Florida. Bruce Feldman of Sports Illustrated is talking about Jim McElwain, which that's dumb. Fuck. T. Martin, nah, he doesn't have enough experience yet. I like T. Martin. It's crazy that T. Martin like isn't in this Tennessee thing more. But I like T. Martin. I think T. Martin should be a head coach. But the thing with T. Martin is, I think he should be a head coach at a smaller program first. You know, you're the offensive coordinator of USC right now, and you know people aren't really raving about you. You know, to me, like T. Martin should take over like fucking, you know, a Sun Belt team or a MAC team. You know, get a couple of years under your belt as a head coach. Go to a couple of bowl games. You know, show us you can recruit. And then, you know, then you get a fucking job in the SEC. You know, the SEC, yeah, it's big time shit. You know, the Pac-12, big time stuff as well. You go to the Ducks, the high expectations here. Like, you look at the coaches that are out there, and really, to me, it begins and ends with Lane Kiffin. I think Lane Kiffin is the perfect fit for the Oregon Duck program. It's something to keep our eye on with these bowls, and we'll blast through a couple of bowl point spreads. Actually, it's something to keep our eye on with these bowls. Fucking Portland went on a little run, but it's not happening. There's, I got a money line parlay for fuck me, man. For fuck's sakes, you guys can't even beat a fucking Wizards team that played last night in Utah. See, as I was saying, so it's something to keep our eye on with the bowl games. Teams with interim coaches rarely win bowl games. We'll break down the numbers as the next week as the bowl game approaches, but teams with interim coaches don't win bowl games. They just don't. There's a couple of little blind tricks with bowl games. Interim coaches are basically automatic bet against. Not, there'll be exceptions. I think like a guy like Mario Cristobal he can handle this with the Ducks. The guy's been a head coach before. But when a coach leaves and it's like, wow, who's coaching the game? And who's getting them ready for the bowl game? The linebackers coach. It's like, oh, we're fucked. There's a reason why he was a linebackers coach, all right? Like it turns into a shit show. Because, I don't even know. I haven't done my research yet. Like with Central Florida, Scott Frost left. So are the coordinators gone too? Yes. So it's just a domino effect, right? Yeah, what's the deal with Scott Frost? Some coaches, I never even, I never understand this. Like some coaches should say, listen, like I could take your job, behind the scenes, they should do this. They said, listen, I could take your job. I'll come to Nebraska, but I'm 13-0. I'm 12-0, 13-0 here. And, I can't leave. Like we're going to a big time bowl game. I can't fucking screw these guys. I got to coach this bowl game, but I'll take the job after the bowl game. I've said this before. The NCAA shouldn't let you. The NCAA shouldn't let coaches leave. Like there should be no negotiating, no anything until after the bowl games. I know, Tawan. It's not fair to the kids. And, I don't like when the players don't play in bowl games and they say, you know what, fuck this. I'm not going to play in a bowl game. I'm going to get ready for the NFL Combine. I don't like that. But honestly, when these coaches are leaving, how the hell can you tell a player to stay? Like, seriously, if you're on one of these teams and the coach is just bolting, you're going to a bowl game and you're going to the NFL, you're good enough to play in the NFL. Why would you sacrifice your body for this team? You do it for your teammates. That's what it comes down to. And I respect guys that do it, but I get why. I get it now. Like, I didn't like it, but I get it. The coaches are pricks. Like, why should a coach be able to leave and then a player leaves and he has to sit out a year? I get it that they're kids and you don't want kids fucking changing their mind because you know what? I play on UCLA and fuck, I went to Oregon on the road and fuck, I like the cheerleaders and, fuck, I was smoking some good weed out there. So I want to transfer. I'm going to Oregon now. You would have a lot of kids fucking bolting all the time if they could leave. I don't like the coach. I'm leaving. Right? So you would get a lot of shit like that. But I think there should be a provision. If the coach leaves, the player can leave. If the coach is still there, the player can't leave. I get it. You can't just fucking go and say, fuck you. You're an adult. It's about commitment. But if the coach leaves, then the player should say, I could leave. The coach just left. I'm leaving too. Yeah, we're going to have the Raid shirts ready. Yeah, it looks like Shea Patterson to Michigan. It's not confirmed, Scartown, but it looks like it's going to happen. Once Michigan get a fucking quarterback, they're going to be the real deal. Once they get a quarterback, Michigan will be the real deal. That's the one disappointment with the program. I think that Harbaugh just thought that O'Korn would be better than he was. Yeah, they got Dylan McCaffrey in the mix too for next year. So if the Patterson shit doesn't work out, Dylan McCaffrey, I'm sure Dylan McCaffrey's real pleased. We redshirted fucking Dylan McCaffrey, and now we're going to be bringing in this fucking stud kid. But it's a cold world. What do you want me to tell you? All right, so it's 10-6 early right now. St. John's and Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon cheerleaders just did backflips. I thought the chick was going to break her neck. Fuck. Kid on Grand Canyon just missed a free throw. The Braun kid. 10-6. This is the first Lopes game that I've watched this year. Actually, I think I saw a half. I saw a bit of one of their games, like 5-7 minutes type thing. But this is the first time I've really seen them play a real team. It's too bad it's not in our in the Lopes home arena. We lose a little bit of that fucking punch, but it is in Phoenix. Oh, fuck me. Fucking kid on the Lopes just hit a nice jump shot, but there was a foul. Lopes bench is into it. The crowd's into it too. It's not full the arena, but it's a Lope crowd. They're into it. Like the Lopes bench fucking standing and shit like that. I like to see that. I like to see the kids into it. Like when the kid hit the shot to three, all the low players got up on the bench. They're into this. There's a blocking foul. The athleticism of St. John's a little bit of a problem early here. Grand Canyon rocking 4 white guys on the floor right now. 4 Dan Marleys. Like I said, they're going to bomb threes, all right? St. John bricks a free throw here. Give me a second here. We'll take a little sound. This is not a break. Just give me a second. I got to get some water.
Yeah, but they're missing some dunks out here. The offense is getting them opportunities, but you want to know if you can get good shots at the basket. Got to knock down those free throws, especially on the road.
0 for 2 at the line was Owens.
See if Braun can get going as well. Simon is sticking to him closely.
There's Benson. Up to Laver. Josh Braun, offensive foul on Laver. Rolling off that, they got him with an illegal screen.
Coach Marley says he's the Marc Gasol out of Italy. He's got a nice flow. We already saw him with an up and under. He can score with his back to the basket. He's got to stay on the floor as well.
It's the 5th GCU turnover in the game.
Maury Pons has not gotten going yet, but he hadn't forced his offense.
Here goes Pons. Good find in the corner. Clark long. Benson across midcourt. Frayer goes up strong. That's blocked by Owens, who's one of the nation's best. Top 15 shot blocker in the country. Top 10.
Now, Frayer's a leaper. He jumps ball. He's at the jump ball center. But going up, that's unusual for him to get his shot blocked, especially attacking the basket.
4.5 since the last Grand Canyon field goal. Trying to change it here. Not going to happen. And great job rebounding by Vernon. He was fouled. And we'll see. I think he's going to go to the line for 2 shots.
If Vernon was 6'9", we would be calling him Alonzo Mourning. Right now, he's 6'5", but the square shoulders, the excellent vertical leap in traffic. Watch this off the glass. The enforcer in traffic. Frere keeps it alive, but oh my goodness. Good hands in traffic.
This is the first one. Both teams struggled a little bit here early on at the free throw stripe. Well, the rebounding by Grand Canyon, though, 11-5 in that category out of the gates, still trailing by 4.
Well, there's a lot of missed shots right now. Grand Canyon shooting 22%, and St. John shooting 30, so there's a lot of rebounds to go around.
0 for 2 at the line on this end.
No one can score. All right, Blazers might be able to cut this lead to 10 right now, or maybe 9 with a 3-ball.
Shamari Pons, that's a 3-pointer as well.
Now, if you're the Lopes, you don't want him to get going. That's his first shot, and it's
13-6 St. John's. Lopes got to get some scoring going here. Turnover. Fuck. Lopes looks sloppy early. Dan Marley's getting pissed. Yes, very sloppy start here for the Lopes. St. John's are just a better team. Looking at this early, they're blowing past them. I don't know. Grand Canyon looked nervous. It's got it's sort of got a feel of an NCAA tournament game, and that sort of smaller school. There's sort of nerves. We'll see if they're able to settle down. They just need to hit a couple of shots, and they'll settle down here a bit. But, there's erratic passes. Kid threw a pass out of bounds. They're fouling on the offensive end. It's sloppy, but still early here. 15-6. The total's in a little bit of trouble here, though, if they can't score. Fuck. St. John's are all over them defensively. That's the thing. I mean, these kids on Grand Canyon aren't used to this type of defense. St. John's are fucking relentless right now. They're all over them in their face and shit. 3-ball coming up. No. Nice ball movement from St. John's. Air ball, though, on the 3. Come on, you got to push the pace a bit, Grand Canyon. The half-court game's not working. There you go. There's a foul. Yeah, Grand Canyon are setting up in a half-court set, and, they're looking for a 3, but it's not there. The kids on St. John are too athletic, and they're defending the perimeter too much. You guys are going to have to pick up the pace and shit. They're better athletes than you are, so you don't have a choice. Like, you're going to have to fucking spread the court, sort of like football. You spread the field and fucking, you play that spread offense, no huddle, and let's go. Come on, Lopes, man, your stock's going to go down after this. Why did I take a break? Because I went to the bathroom. If that's all right with you, also, man. Every time fucking Portland go on a little run here, the Wizards respond. We lose the second half. Fuck me. It was 70, and they finished with 66. Syracuse cover the number, and the game goes over the number, but our greed in the second half does us in. We lose the second half by 4 motherfucking points. And I'm assuming it's fucking UConn's fault. Syracuse covers, though. I went 2-0 in the game. I forced my luck. What are you going to do? Is the 203 a lock in this basketball game? Someone asked me. Yeah, I don't see it getting there. I'd be comfortable if I was on the under 203 right now. I mean, they're at 160 right now. There's 7 minutes left. In a perfect world, I'd say, no. There definitely could be 43 points scored in 7 minutes, but Portland just don't have it. which is a common theme with these motherfuckers on their home court. The Rose Garden's turning into a very overrated place to play as far as like being tough to beat. You know, it used to be, oh, Portland never lose at home type of deal. They always lose at home, these guys. They always fucking lose at home. What's their home record this year? 7-6. About to be 7-7. That's no dominant home court. The best home court in the NBA is right down the street from where I'm sitting right now. The Toronto Raptors. Toronto Raptors are 9-1 on their home court this year. Raptors are playing great basketball. No one ever talks about them, though, but they're just cruising. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. They're 9-1 at home, and they're 6-6 on the road. You play dominant basketball at home, and you go 500 on the road at the end of the year, you've got a lot of wins. The Raptors are right where I thought they'd be, a 3 seed. I'm not delusional. Unfortunately, the Celtics are fucking good. And, the Cavs are the Cavs, and then there's the Raptors. So, we're a step behind Boston and Cleveland. That's what's frustrating about being a Raptor fan. We're so close, but we're not as good as these teams. In the regular season, we're right there with them, but in a playoff series, we're going to have a hard time beating the Cavs. Or, we took them to 6 2 years ago. The Celtics are real fucking tough, but really in the NBA, if you're doing like AP, if you're doing like rankings, the AP poll in the NBA, the Raptors are like a top 5 team. You got Boston, you got Cleveland, you got Golden State, and you've got Houston. And let's say San Antonio. At worst, you could argue the Raptors are the 6th best team in the NBA if you want. But they don't give you a trophy for being the 6th best team, do they? I know, Tommy C. He doesn't, I know. Yeah, how about Jason Tatum? Imagine Jason Tatum on the Lakers with the other Dookie, Brandon Ingram. Too bad the Lakers didn't have the opportunity to draft Jason Tatum. Oh, wait, they did. Yeah, like the Lakers, I don't want to talk about the balls, but honestly, the Lakers really fucked up in drafting Lonzo Ball, man. And I'm not saying Lonzo Ball is a bust, but Lonzo Ball isn't as good as these other guys, and you got a problem. I don't know. If you wanted to take celebrities, you got a celebrity, I guess, but if you wanted a great basketball player, fucking Jason Tatum was your guy. Oh, now Nurkic's hurt. They're down by 16 with 6 minutes left, and Nurkic's hurt. Yeah, it's going to end well. Kuzma was a great draft pick. Kuzma was a great draft pick. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think Rob Pelinka knows what he's doing. I think Rob Pelinka is a smart guy. I just think they got forced into the celebritydom of this bullshit, and they got caught up in it. And, I blame Magic Johnson, too, for buying into this bullshit. And listen, like I said, Lonzo Ball will be a good NBA player. He's a good passer and stuff, but for the 2nd overall pick, you got to get more impact out of this. And you got a 2nd overall pick in the NBA draft for a dude that's, he's going to make a couple of passes. Like, he doesn't have an impact on a game, You don't get a lot of 2nd overall picks. You can't fuck this up. You can't just do it because fucking, he's from LA, and it's like, I thought he should have went like 7th or 8th type shit. Lonzo Ball on the Dallas Mavericks. Fly under the radar for a couple of years. Get good. like I said, I'm not saying Lonzo Ball sucks, but he's not a second overall player in the NBA draft caliber player. And it's going to set the Lakers back. It's going to set the Lakers back. Loma or Rigo? What's that? I don't even know. That's what I'm saying. He's not a bad player, but he's not a second overall guy, you know? 15-11, low-scoring basketball game. Grand Canyon. You can tell their confidence just already a little different. Block shot, though. You can just tell, though. A couple of shots fall for Grand Canyon. Suddenly, you can see they got a little bit more confidence. Oh, come on, man. Really? St. John's get all kind of contact all the time when we fucking shoot. They get all kinds of contact when we shoot, but we do a little contact and we get the call all the time. I don't understand this bullshit. I get it. They're more athletic, but come on, refs. You got to help Grand Canyon out a little bit here. Okay, Marley's fucking getting pissed off. Dan Marley wants this game, man. He's pacing like frantically. Meanwhile, Chris Mullen's got like a wrinkled golf shirt on. Mullen's the best. Mullen just doesn't give a shit. Mullen's got like a St. John's golf coaching shirt. It's not even tucked in. It's kind of like fucking, the collar's kind of sideways. You know what I mean? He looks all chill. Dan Marley's in a nice suit, fucking pacing like a motherfucker. Grand Canyon tossing bricks. Come on, Canyon. You got to get the rebound there, guys. Another foul. Wow. This is an ugly fucking game, man. It's 17-11. The over 144. I'd say that's dead. They've scored 28 points combined. Oh, fuck. Rainer Shiner playing again right now. Little fucking PBA action, huh? Right back at it, huh? Rainer Shine and the Alaska Aces. Like, how are you the Blazers? How are you losing by 20 fucking points on your home floor? You're an embarrassment, man. Like, really, you're just a bunch of gutless motherfuckers, the Portland Trail Blazers. You're gonna fucking ruin my fucking parlay, man. Fuck, man. I swear, I like to bet against the Blazers. It's just, I would have been on the Wizards. Like I'm telling you guys know, you noticed a couple of times we've been on the show, and I said, let's bet against the Blazers here on the money line against them at home. But the Washington Wizards played last night in Utah. You play in the altitude. You don't have John Wall. Didn't seem like a very good situation for them. The only thing is, they only scored 69 points last night. And most people would say, oh, they're fucking screwed. They can't score. But I'm from the opposite school. I think like when teams are like play their worst game ever type thing, they're usually good the next game. You know, like last night, the Wizards hit rock bottom. That was embarrassing. They scored 30 points in the first half. So I kind of expected them to show up a little bit more tonight, but I didn't think they were going to win the game outright. It was a stupid parlay by me, fuck. Either way, I would have got screwed. The Raptors didn't cover. The Raptors were 13.5-point favorites, went up to 14. They were up by like 20. Phoenix scored a bunch of garbage points within like the last 2 minutes, and literally, it never happens in the NBA. In today's NBA, when a team is down, they never shoot the ball at the end. All right? And The Raptors were winning by fucking 15 points. And I had them on a money line parlay. But I was watching the game and I'm like, damn. I said, fuck, Raptor bettors are going to win by a fucking 1 point here. I was like, good for them. You know, I was like, at least the Raptors are going to cover. Good for Raptor bettors. And then there was like a turnover with like 6 seconds left or something. And the Raptors were all standing around. I don't think they thought the guy in Phoenix was going to do anything. So the Raptors sort of stood around and started shaking hands. And the motherfucker on Phoenix started walking towards the basket. I was like, oh, no, you're not going to do this, are you? You're not going to do this, are you? And he went in slow motion. Like, even he didn't really know, should I do this? And everyone was standing around, and he fucking walked in, and he laid it in. And fucking Matt Devlin, the announcer for the Raptors, didn't mention a point spread, but I think he knew because he goes, well, did that basket count? And he's like, you know, and they were sort of like, you know, normally they wouldn't care. Fuck, they'd go to the break. And he's like, let's see if this basket counted or not. And he's like, oh, it counted. And I think that was Devlin's way of like, yeah, you guys just got screwed. It was so close to the end that I didn't even tell. I was like, fuck, I don't know if that counted, man. Like, he kind of laid it in, but if you got money, like, I'm sure I thought of it after. I'm like, you know, somebody had the Raptors at -13. That was a bad beat for Raptor bettors. Fucking Ball State money line. Nice pick, Thomas. I actually like Ball State plus the points. I didn't know they won. $22-14 right now. 22-14 with 6 minutes remaining in the half. We just need a little run from Grand Canyon. You guys got to stop fucking passing the ball over the middle of the court. I swear, that's like the third fucking time you guys penetrate and your pass gets intercepted. And it leads to a 3 for St. John's. Fuck me. 25-14 right now. This would be real ugly if fucking St. John's had their the guy that scored 40, what's his name? Whatever his name was. The kid that scored 14 points a game, they don't even have him. Even the live betting options are running out. The tuba right now. I see bookmaker, no live in-game for Grand Canyon. No late night soccer. There's nothing. We're at that time of the year now, guys. There's a bunch of hockey actually going on here. The Vancouver Canucks, we're killing hockey. Anaheim's up 3-2 on the Ducks right now. I like the Canucks tonight. I didn't bet it. They're up 3-1. The Wild and the Kings, 2-1. Somebody asked the other night about underdogs in hockey, and I said, yeah, bet on underdogs. Like, underdogs always fucking win in the NHL. I like to look at the math. Babano's in the chat. Babano would know. But if you look at the numbers, like, underdogs win often in the NHL, like almost like 50% of the time. There's not a lot of big discrepancy with favorites winning. Like, hockey games really are toss-ups. Like, even tonight, look, like the Anaheim Ducks are underdogs. They're winning 3-2 right now. The Wild were dogs. They're up 3-2. The Devils were underdogs. They won 4-1. The Rangers were underdogs. Me and Cam talked about this. I said, if you take the 3 underdogs, the New York Islanders, the New Jersey Devils, and the New York Rangers, I said, if fucking 2 of them hit, you make nice money. Boom. They both hit. The Devils were plus 170. The Rangers were plus 140. The Islanders did lose. The Blues won as a slight road dog. The Detroit Red Wings won as an underdog outright. The Jets lost 5-1 to them. The Dallas Stars were home favorites. They lost 5-2. The Colorado Avalanche were minus 140 favorites against the Buffalo Sabres. They lost 4-2. Dog fucking city. Dog fucking city. And it's not just tonight. Like, pretty much on a nightly basis, the games are kind of split. Tomorrow, looking at underdogs, you got the Calgary Flames and the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs are minus 150. They could totally lose that game. First game back after a road trip, the Leafs could totally lose that game. Washington Capitals, minus 140 against the Blackhawks. Blackhawks could totally easily win that fucking game. The Chicago Blackhawks on national television on NBC Sports tomorrow. Senators and Ducks. Ducks will be favorites. Ducks are playing right now in Vegas. Ottawa ripe to beat them tomorrow. Philadelphia Flyers and the Edmonton Oilers. I don't trust the Flyers. The Flyers are fucking terrible. But, you know, I'm just blindly speaking out loud here. Look at the hockey card tomorrow. I'll do my research on these games, but just blind. I'll tell you right now. I mean, the Ducks are playing right now. They're going to be beat up and tired after playing in Vegas tonight. Ottawa is sitting there waiting for them right now in Los Angeles. The Ducks will be favorites. So the Senators will be an underdog. The Calgary Flames are a good hockey team. They could beat the Toronto Maple Leafs. And like I said, the Blackhawks and the Capitals, that game could go either way. Underdogs. Underdogs. All right, 104-90 right now. A little bit of a sweat job for your over bettors, but not really. 104.92. So they're up to 196 right now. 47 seconds remaining. Portland aren't fouling. They've pretty much quit. Yeah, you're good. 196, 196, 196. 196 with 30 seconds left. And 198 with 24 seconds left. And that's game. There's 24 seconds left, so Portland should take a shot here. Misses the layup. 106-92 final score. Unless Oubre fucking shoots it here, which you never know in the NBA. He was about to do it. It's fucking funny. I'd like to see guys do that more, to be honest with you. How many fucking points did Bradley Beal just score? Fuck. I don't even know. But all of fucking Washington Wizards players just went right up to Bradley Beal after and started hugging him and shit. $51 points. I guess he did pretty good in fantasy tonight. 51 fucking points for Bradley Beal. And that's the NBA for you. Yeah, last night, the Washington Wizards scored 69 points as a fucking team. Bradley Beal drops 51 tonight. The fucking bench for the Portland Trailblazers is garbage, man. Evan Turner, 3 points. Napier, 3 points. Vonleh, 2 points. Yeah, great job, Vonleh. 14 minutes of fucking action. You scored 2 fucking points. What do you get paid for? Fuck. Fucking Harkless, 11 minutes, 3 points. He had 1 3-point shot. That fucking sucked, man. You can go fuck yourselves, Portland. Good for you, Johnny. You hit a bet. I know the feeling. I got to be honest with you. I got killed I had some bad money management. That Eagles game was a dumb bet for me on Sunday. The Lakers game stayed under. The props went bad. I had a bad little run. And it sucked because I built up an account really well, and I ended up losing it. And I'm pretty much on my last legs now. It's the calm before the storm, Nora. I've sort of accepted it, and I'm going to load up and go in hard this weekend again and get that money back, so it'll be all right. I'm sort of just punching away right now, but I just lost at one book pretty good, but I'm still alive at another. I really need Grand Canyon here, though. Don't feel bad, Harry M. I fucking took the yeah, Ohio State players generally suck in the NBA. What up, Mingo? Don't feel bad, Harry M. I was stupid enough to play a fucking money line parlay with the Raptors and the Blazers. $27-19. Grand Canyon are hanging around. We're not playing well. We're only down by 8, and they're on the free throw line right now. They're into the bonus. And he misses the free throw. Fuck, man. You fucking dumb motherfucking kids, man. Hit a fucking free throw. I guess if you're a college coach, you just have to accept it. Fuck, you know? I guess if you're an NBA coach, you just have to accept it. But I wouldn't be too good at accepting it. See, we miss a free throw, and then, you know, St. John's responds with a bucket. So instead of 27-18, instead of 27-20, it's 29-19. 3-ball, Grand Canyon. Good, falls. Cut the lead to 8. Good job. Joshua Braun, 8 points. 2 for 4 from three-point land. Let's go. Let's go, Lopes. Close out the half strong here. 29-22. Cut the gap to 5. That'd be my goal if I was Marley. Let's get this shit to 5. All right, they're short. Good job. Nice defense. Push the tempo a little bit here, Braun. Serenity now, Braun. You're not giving away our ice pick. Oh, fuck. You guys did everything right except score. 3-ball. Boom. 30-25. Braun's heating up. Braun's heating up.
Games at the three-point line, and now they're hitting timely threes. Ahmed trying to answer.
Rebound.
Rebounds. Ahmed can't fall in love with his jumper. He's got to get inside the lane, see if he can get to the free throw line. Quick one for Benson.
Boom.
Things have changed.
29-27.
You can feel a run coming. It's a game of runs. Knocking down those shots. The Havocs love it. This team feeds off of that energy.
Ooh, look at the cheerleaders, Grand Canyon. Hey. Look at the chick fans, Grand Canyon. Look at the fans, great fans. Grand Canyon, we got a Havoc section. They're a bunch of dudes who are dressed up like nuns. This is our school, man, after Michigan. I like to see the student section. It's not a big student section, but I like it. We got a bunch of fucking drunk dudes dressed up as nuns, fucking Grand Canyon t-shirts, all going crazy. Look at the cheerleaders for Grand Canyon. Hey, how you doing? What up? Hey. I like the last one here. I like the brunette. Go Lopes. I like our fan section. Fuck, the fan section's pretty whacked out. Look, you got guys dressed up, all fucked up and shit, dressed as nuns. You got some wacko fucking stoner kid with a bandana fucking leading a fucking fan chant. Hey, turnover, St. John's, fuck. Here come the Lopes. Everyone, hey, big man. What up, big man? Lopes, motherfucker. Let's go, Lopes. Yeah, where's the Dan Patrick guy? Oh, we're losing. We're done. It's 10-5. (29-27). St. John's going to the free throw line. Still, we got a game, man. We're on a nice little run here. It was 25-14. We were down by 11. So since it was 25-14, it's been a 13-4 run for Grand Canyon. We're on a 13-4 run. I said, let's cut this lead to 5 by the half. Oh, they missed their free throw.
One straight free throws coming into tonight. The record of St. John's is 42, and he misses his first tonight.
Yeah, that's why he took a look and said, what are you kidding me? Right there.
93.2%.
They got these spinner things.
Ridiculous crowd behind that basket makes the second one.
Hey, good job, Lope fans. This is great shit. I'm going to be buying the stock here right now coming up, and I like to see this. They're making a university look good on TV. If I was a kid in Arizona, why would I fucking go to ASU or Arizona and pay all that money? I'll go to Grand Canyon and hang with these fucking kids in nun outfits. St. John's hits a shot, 32-27, final possession of the half for the Lopes.
Confidence. And then the second thing right behind it is quickness. If you have quickness to get separation, that's a strong asset as a basketball
Lopes
player.
only shooting 32% from the field in the first half, but we're only down 5.
Oh, they're in a little trouble here.
Running out of time here.
Braun got free. At the buzzer, it's no good, and then rebounds. Grand Canyon bounced back late in the half, but St. John's hanging on to a 32-27 lead. After the break, we take you to the studio. John Brickley, John Thompson, and Dalen Cupp for the college basketball halftime report.
All right, we'll get you a second half number here. Once one pops up. In the one and only last game of the evening. College basketball, second half. No number. Well, it's pretty soon, but it's a weird game, guys. I don't know. Oh, there it is. There is actually live in-game betting. What the fuck? Fuck my fucking computer, man. I tell you, the Colorado Avalanche losing really didn't help me out very much. I got to be honest with you. Buffalo Sabres actually win a game. It's a fucking miracle. I should have known. Me and Cam talked about this today. It was like, can it, the Buffalo really? Could, are the Buffalo Sabres really going to lose every fucking night? Yeah, let's take a guess. So, Gogster says Red Storm -2.5. So what? They were 6-point favorites. Yeah, I like where you're going with that. I'd say that, yeah, St. John's, let's say St. John's -3, over under 70. Yeah, fuck. What are you going to do? Like I said, we had calm before the storm. All right, second half number. What do we got? Second half line. Yeah, St. John's minus 2.5. Over under 73.5. St. John's minus 2.5. Over under 73.5. It's 32-27. So if you do the math and you actually add it up, the new numbers then are St. John's minus 7.5. Over under 132.5. I think the second half over is going to get there. As you saw, it was really slow, man. It was like 15-6 at the 10-minute mark. Grand Canyon, like I said, once Grand Canyon hit a few shots, they're going to get comfortable. The Golden Knights have tied it 3-3. So if you want to jump in on that, I imagine they'll probably fucking win the game now. They're minus 135 in game. Yeah, let's take it. Why not? I don't have a lot here anyway, so I just took the Golden Knights. It's 3-3. They're minus 135 in game. Now, the Golden Knights were up 2-0, and then the Ducks scored. The Golden Knights are like fucking money to the over guys this year. That's one thing with the Golden Knights. I think they're like now 19-6 to the over. The Golden Knights are like almost just an automatic over bet. So, yeah, we just grabbed the Knights. Minus 135 in game. Tied 3-3 with 4 minutes left. Texas beats TCU 71-67. Good basketball game with the Virginia Cavaliers and West Virginia. This West Virginia team is pretty damn good. Because Virginia is fucking good. I'm looking at West Virginia right now. Like, some of these dudes, man, they look like NBA players. Like, they're older. Like, how many fucking years is that point guard going to be allowed to play college basketball? The bald guy, he's bald, fuck. You don't see a lot of guys with like receding hairlines in college, but the brother point guard on fucking West Virginia is. That's an impressive win. Yeah, Carter. Look at this guy, Carter. He looks like he's 40 years old. This Carter guy on West Virginia, big man will know him. Fuck. This Carter guy, big man. Oh, the Vegas game's on TV. Thanks, Loretti. This fucking Carter guy, he's the oldest college basketball looking player since Greg Oden. Look at the guy. He looks like PJ Tucker. Like, I just saw him like after the game. He was all like fired up talking to the teammates, like cheering, like. I was like, holy shit, this guy looks like PJ Tucker. He looks like an NBA vet. Like, he doesn't look like an NBA player. He looks like an NBA vet. Like, how old is this guy? He's fucking bald, Brooks. He's got a receding. I'm not trying to be funny right now. The guy looks like PJ Tucker. You put this guy in an NBA uniform, you're like, how many years this guy been in the league? 8? This Carter guy, I swear, he looks fucking old, man. All right, so we'll take a last break. We'll come back with some closing thoughts.
Brunson has a bad night.
someone else can take over. They're a very versatile team, but you have to somehow know.
This ain't the end of me. All the things that I
All right. Hopefully the Lopes can close out the night with a win for us all here. Still 3-3 in a hockey game that went to overtime right now. And this being Canada, all I have to do is change a channel and I'll get a hockey game. And here it is. Ooh, Vegas nearly just scored. Probably going to go to a shootout, I would imagine. It's got that feel. All right, so we've got tomorrow. I told Donnie Wrightside's going to join me on TV tomorrow. I didn't even realize that. Our producer, I didn't know. I said, all right, speak to you Sunday, Donnie. No, I'll speak to Donnie tomorrow. If you want more of me and Donnie Wrightside talking NFL football, tune into the Fantasy Sports Network. Here it comes. Vegas had a 2-on-1, but they didn't score. Al Vartanian joins me on the show tomorrow, too. I've got to wrap up this show and get ready. I've got to start getting ready for the Homicide concert. I'm getting, today I put some work in. I actually brought my guitar to the shop today. Brought my the white electric guitar. I had some problems with it. I knew I had to bring it to the shop anyways. All right, the second, you can't just play this shit off the rack in the store. You got to get it tuned up and dialed in. It's only like $100 or something. We brought it to this fucking cool fucking custom guitar dude here in Toronto on Queen Street. They had like a rush deal. Like, he's like, how quick do you need it? I got a lot of shit here. He did, man. The place is busy, fuck. And because if you got a gig in a couple of days, we can get it done, but it's going to cost a couple of bucks more. But I told him, yeah, money's not an object. I said, I'd like to get it back fast. And he fucking said, how's 2 weeks? I was like, whoa, that's way too long. Way too long. And he goes, 1 week? I said, yeah, I can live with 1 week. Like, all right, 1 week, I'll be back. I'm looking forward to it, though. I'm going to have a kick-ass fucking axe in 1 week's time. It's already a great guitar, but it was off the rack. It needed, it was sloppily done. Even the guy was surprised. He's like, fuck, I'm surprised they put it up on the rack like this. He's like, this is wrong, and this is wrong. I'm like, yeah, I know, fuck. That's why I brought it to you. He's like, why don't you bring it back to the store you bought it and make them fix it? Because I was like, I trust you more than I trust the fucking corporate store. That's why. And I said, I don't care about paying fuck to fix it. I'd rather have you do it than them fuck it up. So I'm without my baby. I got an electric guitar here. I got to practice on the acoustic. I know the songs, but it's like playing this speed metal is not easy, man. It's hard on your fucking wrist, man. Like, anyone that plays guitar knows what I'm talking about. If you don't, it's brutal, fuck. Like, it doesn't matter, man. Like, whether you got big arms, small arms, whatever arm. Playing guitar, you're using muscles you don't use. So it's like your fucking wrist and these veins here and shit. Now, like, when you're in a speed metal band and shit, and you play all the time, you really become fucking strong there. Like, it's not an issue. But I'm feeling like when we did our rehearsal and like our little reunion rehearsal a couple of months ago, everybody after was like, oh my God, my fucking wrist, fuck. It's like, yeah, I know, it's brutal, fuck. So it's really like working out. Like today I just played blindly for like fucking an hour, fucking just fucking basically fucking working out. It's like a boxer just doing this fuck over and over. I can't get on the stage and have my fucking arm fall off fucking 15 minutes into the show. Power play right now for the Ducks. We're in trouble. 4-on-3. The only thing that might save us is the Ducks power play is shit. But it's hard not to score on a 4-on-3. The Ducks just aren't a very good team. Yeah, they're okay. They're overhyped. People are always like, oh, the Ducks, watch out for the Ducks. Is the Cup, they're sleepers, this. They're good, but they're inconsistent. And like I said, their power play blows. Two minutes left. Vegas battling. 34-27 still in this basketball game. It's really slowed down again. But the Lopes are hanging around. But the Lopes are hanging around. So, yeah, like I was saying, so Vartanian, we had big men on campus talking Champions League soccer today, but big man's not into MLS. I am into the MLS, and it's the MLS Cup this Saturday. I might go. It's not looking great right now. So we're going to break down this game tomorrow on the TV side of things. We'll start talking about it this week here as well. I'm looking at the line for the first time right now. I'm surprised to see that it is what it is. And I think there's actually value on the Seattle Sounders. Toronto FC are minus 125. The draw is plus 260. And the Sounders to win in regulation is plus 333. TFC are really good, and, you know, I think they set a record for most wins in the MLS, and people are saying if TFC can finish this off, they'll be known as the greatest MLS team ever. You know, I don't buy it. I don't know. They're good, TFC, but they have a hard time scoring. Like, they don't finish their chances. Like, TFC, they need a lot of chances to score. You know, but they're fucking good. They're all over you all the time, but it's like over the net, fucking, offside. Like, TFC will have like 8 scoring chances a game and they'll score once or twice type shit. But they are fucking good. And I'm all over them still. TFC are essentially the U.S. national soccer team with fucking Giovinco and a few Canadian dudes. You know, Altidore, Michael Bradley. By MLS standards, is pretty good. You know, you got Michael Bradley, Jose Altidore, and Giovinco, and Vasquez. They're a pretty deep team. Like, Toronto FC are a good team. Big save, Subban. Yeah, like I said, I mean, look, they played last year in the final, and they didn't fucking score a goal, man. All right, neither team scored a goal. They played 120 minutes, and they didn't score a goal, and went to a shootout, and they lost. TFC lost on their home field. So it's a rematch. It's the exact same scenario. It was cold as fuck last year during the MLS Cup. Like, it was cold by Canadian standards cold. It was cold. Like, I remember the UFC was the same night, and I remember going outside the UFC to smoke a spliff and freezing my fucking ass off. Yeah, I was talking about this on Twitter yesterday. Winter doesn't really exist anymore. It gets a little cold, but not like it used to. So Saturday, yeah, it's going to be cold at the stadium. Freezing, 31 degrees, -1. 11-mile-an-hour winds, not 18-kilometer winds. TFC, the soccer stadium, is right on the water on Lake Ontario. And it's fucking windy and fucking cold in that stadium. We went to the CFL playoff game there a couple of weeks ago, and the weather was, you know, it snowed and it was wet and rainy and cold and shit. But I had a jacket on. I was fine, but I remember sitting in one part of the stadium, man, and it was windy as a motherfuck. So last year they played this MLS Cup shit at nighttime. They played it at 8 o'clock Eastern, and they played at 8 o'clock Eastern, and like I said, there were complaints. It was fucking cold. I think it was like minus 13 type shit. You know, so in Canada, minus 13. I think, you know, by Celsius, I think it was like 17 degrees type shit. Or Fahrenheit, sorry. I get confused with this fucking Celsius Fahrenheit shit. The United States is the only fucking country in the world that's not on the metric system now. You know, so it's people. I know people get confused, but it's like, you know, you guys are the only people in the world that fucking are still stuck on this, right? $39.32. Grand Canyon's got some cute cheerleaders. I don't want to sound like Woody Allen here or anything, but yeah. Anyone been to BMO? Anyone from Toronto in here knows. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's a cold fucking stadium, man. Yeah, we're going to a shootout. What up, Bobbert? Yeah, you know, Seattle is live. I personally think the under is the play. It's over under 2.5, minus 150. Like I said, these two teams played last year in the final, and nobody fucking scored. You saw TFC in the playoffs this year. They had real problems scoring. They did enough to get by all the time, but you know, against the Red Bulls, I think they had 4 shots in like 2 fucking games. Against Columbus, they didn't have 1 shot on goal in one of the games. The scoreless draw. They were without their stars. But even the game they won last week against Columbus, it wasn't like an offensive onslaught. I know they didn't need an offensive onslaught, but they had a few early chances. Like TFC are a defensive-minded team. It's the fucking championship. It's going to be cold as fuck. It's not going to be a fucking 3-2 game. Is it a 2-1 game? I don't even think so. I think it's a 0-0 game or maybe a 1-0 game or at most a 1-1 game. I don't think it's a 2-1 game. I don't think it's a 2-1 game. Neither team's going to want to do anything stupid. It's the fucking championship game. There's no aggregate. It's one fucking game. I like the under. I'm betting the under big. I'm going to hammer it. Like, when I say big, I'll put a nickel on the under. Vegas shoots and gets stopped. It's actually a dick move, fuck. You can't shoot the rebound on a fucking, everyone knows that. Guy in Vegas fucking tried to slam the rebound home. You can't do that. It's not cool to do that. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but in hockey, there's things you don't do, and that's one of them. Like, put it this way. Like, if it wasn't a shootout now and shit, you'd punch the guy in the face for that. It's like soccer. You don't kick the ball into the net, fuck, after the whistle. Like, it's not acceptable. You don't shoot the rebound on a goalie. It's unacceptable. These are some of the worst fucking shootout fucking attempts I've seen in my life. I could stop that. I literally would have stopped that. He didn't do anything. Like, he didn't do anything. I was a fucking good goalie, man, on breakaways, guys. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I was the best goalie in the world, but like when with breakaways, I was fucking good, man. I used to love breakaways, fuck. One-on-one, man, I'd rarely get scored on. Like that. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? I was a goalie, and I played pretty high-level shit, and I'll tell you right now, goalies, what we don't like, that's easy. When guys come in half speed and dippy doodle and shit and then fucking don't do anything, it's easy. You just sort of watch the puck go. And it's like, all right, you're not fooling me. And it's like, bing, they shoot it right on you. What you got to do is you got to skate in fast and fucking shoot. That was nice, what he just did. Vegas, that was a nice move he did there. He looked like he was going to shoot. That was a nice move. That would have faked me out of my skate right there. That was pretty slick. Fuck. That was pretty slick. But he came in, sort of looked like he was going to shoot coming in from the right side, which I was like, yeah, and then fucking he sort of pulled in like he was going to try to deke the goalie, and then he did a backhand. Beautiful. Save. Vegas wins. Cash it. Minus 135. There were fucking 6 shot attempts there. Corey Perry's attempt wasn't bad. Corey Perry did what I said, like, fucking goalies don't like, and Corey Perry's a smart player, so he knows this shit. And I'll give credit to the guy in Vegas, Tuck here, that just did this. He hit the backhand. Nobody can lift the puck anymore in the NHL. They can all shoot the puck 118 miles an hour, but they can't lift it on their backhand because their sticks aren't made for it. So very impressive what Buddy did there. Like, if I was a goalie in the NHL, I'd think, fuck, if he beats me with the backhand, I'll take it because it's fucking, 97 times out of 100, that's not happening. That was a really nice goal by that guy. Yeah, Kyle Johnson was a good goalie. He's been to goalie camps. I don't know if Kyle's in the chat still, but Kyle will tell you the same thing. On a breakaway, if you're a goalie, you want the guy to try to fucking deke you out and shit. I used to fucking hate fucking, it was my one weakness too. It was like my little kryptonite, but most people didn't know or they couldn't fucking do it. Was the fucking high shot. A guy comes fucking blazing in fast on you, and he sort of fucking moves to a side, and he shoots high fucking blocker side. It's hard to fucking, it's hard. It's awkward. Like, you can get your shoulder up and your blocker, but it's an awkward save. And you'll notice in the NHL, fucking even NHL goalies have a hard time with it. It's sort of the one spot, like the body can't, because your glove hand on the right, your glove hand, you're going to be able to catch anything, right? It's like a baseball. You're going to catch it. It's instinct, fuck. So you're going to catch it. But you can't, it's not like baseball. You can catch something backhanded, right? If you're a shortstop and a ball's coming, you can fucking take a backhand stab at it. In hockey, goalie, you can't take a backhand stab at a puck. It's not done. The glove, it's not done. Unless it's a slow shot and shit. You know what I mean? But if someone tees up a slap shot at you, you're not backhanding it. You have to stop it with the blocker. And it's awkward. Like when I was a kid and I played, blockers were small. Nowadays, they're fucking massive. It's easier now. But when I played goalie, I had to use reflexes and shit. Nowadays, fuck, these goalies don't even know where the puck is half the time in the NHL. I swear to God, even the best ones. Watch Carey Price and shit. He has no idea where the puck is. His equipment is so big, all he knows is, all right, it's sort of like physics. Modern goalies and a butterfly is like physics now. It's like, I don't even have to know where the puck is. It's going to hit me. That's how they play nowadays. It's fucking nuts. So basically, they just sort of, all right, if I fucking stay in this butterfly on my knees with my pads and everything, I am taking up so much of the fucking net that they're going to have to snipe it to beat me. And the fact is, man, it's tough to snipe it. Like I practiced against the Edmonton Oilers when I was a kid. And they were teeing up slap shots at me and shit. And most of them couldn't hit the net. like That's the whole thing. Like, how many times you see an NHL game, a defenseman fucking tease one up from the blue line? It's not even close to the net. It's not even close to the net. It goes in the corner. It goes way into the crowd. It hits off the glass above. Like, some guys are fucking in the NHL or snipers. Like, Shea Weber can put it on a fucking dime and shit like that. But a lot of guys can't. You know, they'll tee it up and shit, but they don't really know where it's going. My grandfather used to I used to have a net, and you know, like the targets in the net, I would fucking be the goalie. He'd be firing at these targets. Fuck. It was fucking, yeah, you believe that, Esho? I believe it. What up, Harry M? Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, Harry. Most hockey players and most kids that played hockey and shit are good golfers. Like, I never had any formal golf training or anything, and I'm not going to say I was a natural for it, but I got it very easily. You know what I mean? Golf is a hard sport, and I'm not saying I'm good at golf, but you're used to it. Like, it's a stick. It's a fucking, you know, like, if you notice, like, out of all the athletes, hockey players are the best golfers. They're the best golfers. Like, Brett Hall can fucking crush it. Fuck. Chris Chelios. Like, these fucking defensemen, man, these guys crush the golf ball. They crush it. And baseball players are good golfers because of the hand-eye coordination. You know, most football players are not good golfers. Most basketball players are not good golfers. You know, but there's some baseball players, like pitchers are really good golfers because they have good hand-eye coordination. And like most average any hockey player can get around a golf course. You should see me play golf. It's fucking hilarious, guys. There's a video. I had a sports rage golf tournament, so there's a video. It was this past summer. I used to play more. I hadn't played in years. But there's a video, and it's of me driving the ball, all right? And it's in, like, slow motion. It's sort of like my form. And it's fucking hilarious, man. Fucking everyone watching me on the spot all said the same thing right away. They're like, bro, hey, you're not taking a slap shot in hockey here, huh? Camera 2 Drew, he's like, fuck, you were hilarious. He goes, every time you fucking drove the ball, I was cracking up. He goes, because your body is like a hockey slap shot. He goes, your knee goes down. He's like, you have the same form as someone taking a slap shot. And I was like, yeah, I'm driving the ball. So it's sort of like I'm taking a slap shot in hockey, but with a golf club, essentially, right? Like, all my golf shots are like hockey shots, except with a golf ball. Like, my form is total, like, fucking my knee bends and shit. And I've been told that a lot. Carly Argo looking pretty hot here tonight. Oh, no, it's Nikki Reyes. I used to work with Nikki Reyes. I think she got a tit job. Her tits are bigger. From afar, she looked like Carly Argo. Yeah, exactly, Kyle. Dude, like, I am total the Happy Gilmore golfer. Like, 100%. My short game blows. Like, most people use a wedge and shit like that. I just use the old Texas fucking steam. Fucking bam. Like, I hit line drives and shit. Like, my golf shots have no arc. Like, I hit line drives in golf. Like, I hit line drives and just hope it rolls after, you know? I used to try to do the wedges and fucking scoop these high shots up, and it never worked for me. I'd always end up in a bunker and shit. I was like, no. I'm just playing hockey golf here. And I'm just sort of, all right, I got to take a shot here, but I can't go until I'm sort of took. Oh, yeah, I'm fucking, I'm a terrible golfer. Like, I'm not sitting here telling you I'm good. Like my best golf score ever was like fucking 96. Like I broke 100 once. Like I'm not sitting here like. Thing with me golfing, I'm weird. Like I'll make a couple of really nice shots where like, you know, I'll surprise everyone's like, holy fuck, Morency, that was a hell of a shot. And then like I'll totally like fucking clunk one into the woods and shit, you know? I'm very inconsistent on a golf course. I remember once, I swear to God, man, I fucking put up like a fucking 38 or something in the first 9. It was uncanny. It was an easy course. It was at Meadowbrook in Montreal. But I played it a lot, and I played every day for one summer. Me and my buddy, we used to go every fucking day type shit. It was sort of the end of the summer, and one day I was just in a fucking zone, man. Like, it was fucking nuts. Like, I actually parred the first hole. Second hole, I got like a fucking birdie on a par 3. You know, I got like, I never got worse than like a bogey type shit, or I got pars or bogeys. I fucking hit like fucking, it was one of those lucky days. I smack one into a tree and it fucking rolled onto the green. Like, it was one of those days. And I didn't look at my card too much. I was filling it out. I was like, fuck, this is like the best round of my life type shit. And I'm fucking going. And I got to the 8th hole and I made the mistake of looking at my card. I'm like, holy fuck. I'm at 38 or 37 at the 8th hole. And I fucking bogeyed the 9th hole. And at Meadowbrook, anyone who knows, there's like a train tracks. And you got to cross the train tracks and shit. And a train passed. And we had to wait there for a while. So we fucking stood there. This fucking train passed. And finally we got on the other side. There's another hole. And the first fucking shot, I fucking swear to God, I fucking nailed it. Like, I nearly hit the train type shit. Like, it was one of those physically impossible golf shots, but not in a good way. Like, you know, like when you see professional golfers and all the spectators are right there, like, I'd fucking kill someone. Like, I took a golf shot, man. I teed it up, bam. It just fucking curled. Like, it fucking curled, man. Like, it went way gone. You know, that was a penalty, and my round just evaporated, man. My round fucking evaporated. I think that was the day I ended up with the 96, fuck. I fucking fell apart, guys, on the back 9. I got to get out of here, but I can tell you guys some fucking crazy golf stories when I was on a course, yeah, with fights and shit like that. I told the famous Carl Dykhouse story already. Yeah, we had a golf tournament this year. It was pretty cool. I started off pretty good. I took it seriously, too. I started off pretty well. But by the time we got to the 6th, 7th hole, I was drunk, and I didn't give a fuck by the end of it. By the end of it, I was just smashing fucking balls all over the place. I didn't care. And it's funny because I used to be like really, you know, when me and my buddies used to go play, we were very meticulous. We would bet and we were very official about it. We never really fucked around. We didn't drink even. Right. But, you know, at my tournament, like I said, I took the first 4 or 5 holes. I planned on taking the first 9 seriously and getting shit-faced in the back 9. Except we started drinking at the first hole. And by the time I got to the 6th, 7th hole there, I was pretty fucking buzzed and I didn't give a fuck anymore. I was ready to tap out, fuck, after like 13 holes. Yeah, my whole deal is I always just want to get a hole in one once. Even on a par 3. Like, that was my obsession. I fucking came close a few times. I fucking hit the pin once, and I thought it went in, but it didn't. I fucking hit like, it was a perfect shot, but I hit it too hard. Like, it was a perfect line. It was like 143 yards. Bam. I fucking hit it, and I was like, oh, my God, this might be it. And fucking it went, and it hit the pin. And I was like, please just fucking fall in. And it hit the pin, and bam, it fucking rolled like 8 feet from the pin. Another time once, I thought I put it in, fuck. It was a par 3, and it was sort of on a hill, and I got it, and it was rolling. And then, you know, I couldn't see the ball, but I knew it was fucking close to the pin. I was like, maybe it went in. And my buddy said, fuck, dude. He goes, I think it stopped like 2 feet away. And it did. Fuck. We got there and it was like, oh, fuck me. It wasn't online, though. It's just a little, because your perception's always off, right? When you're in the box, you always think it's closer than it is. But when we got there, it really was. I was like, oh, I was like, fuck, I missed the hole in one by like 3 feet. It really bothered me. I was like, I remember telling my buddies, I was like, if I could get a hole in one, I'll quit playing golf. I said, that's all I care about. I said, I just want to get a hole in one. I never did. I used to be crazy like that, though, like on a basketball court. I used to be like, I'm not leaving the court until I hit the shot from fucking the other end and shit like that. Yeah, maybe we'll have a tournament in the future there, Harry. An SBR golf tournament or something like that. No, I didn't fight Carl Dykhouse. Fuck. I got to get out of here. We've told the Dykhouse story a lot in the past, but no, Dykhouse nearly hit me with a golf ball. Fuck. All right, so what's going on here with Grand Canyon? I was hoping for some magic. 52-40. Not looking great, boys. All right, I got to get out of here. I got a bunch of shows to get ready for tomorrow. So support SBR. Watch all the shows tomorrow on SBR. Donnie, right side, big man on campus. Pistol Pete, Jimmy the Bag. If you miss me, I'll be on the radio with Cam Stewart tomorrow from 12 till 1 like I am weekdays. Tomorrow on TV, 5 o'clock Eastern on the Fantasy Sports Television Network. Online, everywhere. And Xbox, Sony, Google, Amazon, everywhere. Wherever there's a fucking format, I'm on it. Tomorrow at noon on the radio, tomorrow at 5, and I'll see you tomorrow night here at 10 o'clock. Ian Cameron Babana will be with us like he'll be with us in Vancouver. If you're on the West Coast, come celebrate my 16th anniversary of Sports Rage and the Late Night Anger Management class on January the 5th in Vancouver, British Columbia. Live show. Everybody's invited. We're going to get fucking wasted, and then the next day, the weekend, I'm going to watch the football games, NFL playoffs. And you can bet on sports in Canada. Other than that, you're on your own. May the winners be yours later. Go Lopes. Let's backdoor this.